She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly I've been on my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said I've been going on my way just to trust, and told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose a feeling every single time we touch. Can I get a warning before you switch on me? Or can you tell me to my face that you don't want me? This shit been waiting on me and I feel like concrete. Lately it been seeming like I know you hardly. You good at talking that shit when I'm saying sorry. And I don't think for real the two would be my shorty. And when I go around your friends, they always looking salty. And if I walk away, then they gon' diss me probably. You're not loving me no more, I'm just a losing. I just wanna know who you think you fooling. Heartbreak hotel, I'm out of moving. She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly I've been on my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said I've been going on my way just to trust, and told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose a feeling every single time we touch. All these bitches play too much and that's the issue. I can't fuck with minimal, man, I can't pretend to. And how you going ghost after everything we've been through? I'm sending SOS cause I don't get the signal. I'm looking up and I can use an angel. I wish we could go back to being strangers. I know that you're going through stages. I'm beginning to think we toxic and endangered. You're not loving me no more, I'm just a losing. I just wanna know who you think you're fooling. Heartbreak hotel, I'm out of moving. She said, promise me nothing's gonna change, cause honestly I've been on my brain like constantly. I've been going on my way. She said I've been going on my way just to trust, and told me I'm so down to earth like what you thought it was. And I'm really starting to think I'm coming undone. Starting to lose a feeling every single time we touch.
It's getting harder, you turn my heart up, throw me in water. I'm getting higher, just to feel ya, cause I need to. No one knows it, heart is frozen from your poison. Taking the potion, just to feel ya, cause I miss you. Oh my God, can't stop you like heroin. My love you got, there's no settlement. I can't pretend that we're not meant. Oh, I think I'm overdosing. I think that I'm overdosing. I think that I'm overdosing. I think I'm overdosing. It's getting stronger, can't take no longer, walking on fire. I'm getting higher, just to feel ya, cause I need you. Feels like I'm burning a little bit more, just a little bit more now. Taking the potion, just to feel ya, cause I need you. Oh my God, can't stop you like heroin. My love you got, there's no settlement. I can't pretend that we're not meant. Oh, I think I'm overdosing. 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 I think I'm overdosing.
Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself, there's no one I can turn to. All the feelings that we shared are in the past. Your relationships are never meant to last. All the feelings that we shared are in the past. Your relationships are never meant to last. It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on, moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Moving on, moving on. Won't you take me to that place? Take me to that place. Won't you take me to that place? Won't you take me to that place? Won't you take me there, man? Because you said enough, you said enough, you said enough. Because you said enough, you said enough.
Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown my sorrows, but I love that bitter taste. So I'm addicted to you. Visions of you. Come closer, 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 closer. Come closer, 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 closer. Visions of you. Half past 9 and I can't see straight. I'm hoping that I'll make it tomorrow, but right now I can't feel my face. I'm intoxicated, I'm a waste. Hoping I can drown the sorrows, but I love that bitter taste.
Visions of you.
This live stream is sponsored by SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Crossfire Season 5. It is the inaugural playoff match for Season 5. And Henry Bat, we have an absolute gem on our hands with Overtake Sector taking on Iowa Stormboar, which is a rematch from the Nostalgia League. Shout out to Nostalgia while we're here. But that did lean in favor of the Stormboar, and I think that came down to the map pick and ban. But Henry Bat, let me hear your thoughts.
Laker, thanks for the intro, bro. Appreciate it. I'm excited for this one, right? I got to watch Overtake play Chicken Coop the other night, and they put on a surprise, little bit of a shocker, if you will. They destroyed them on Dust 2. This is a team that's cold, that's calculated. They have no remorse, and they play every round to perfection. Even if they have just Glocks, there's a plan going into it. As for the Iowa Stormboar side, I'm looking at their roster on Face It. I'm looking at their roster on Crossfire, and I'm not sure who's going to show up tonight. I tried my best to do some digging, some, looking, jiving, shucking, you never know, but there's players who are not there. And you mentioned that game from Nostalgia. That's when Honest was in the gold and red, and he dropped a 1.71 rating against them. So with him not there tonight, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I talked about how it felt like in their matchup in the Nostalgia League, it kind of came down to the map pick and bans, and Honest being on that squad definitely helped out a lot. I mean, Honest was the #1 rated player in that tournament. But for the here and now, I think that our map pool for tonight is a little bit interesting because we see the likes of Overpass joining the fray. And the last time these two teams played, the map pool was Dust 2, Mirage, Ancient. Dust 2 was taken by Overtake, Mirage, and Ancient, of course, taken by Iowa Stormboar. But tonight we have Iowa Stormboar pulling out the Overpass pick, which feels a little bit uncharacteristic from them.
It's going to be uncharacteristic for most teams in Counter-Strike coming up, as Cash has replaced it. But as we are here still in Crossfire and Overpass is still with us, I think it's their only shot. Now, it has been 10 days since they played last. Iowa did pick up Mirage against Overtake, so if there's a change in Overtake's strat book, maybe they watch those VODs back, it's going to get scary. I can kind of see an Overpass victory for Iowa, only because it's one of their strong suits. It's a 4th, maybe 5th map for Overtake. I'm guessing Overtake is probably going to smack them again like they did 13-4 in the Nostalgia League, because it's not a strong map for Iowa. Ever since they got beat up in regular season of Season 57 against Club 333 on it, they kind of just looked shaky. And the fact that they don't have what I believe is a very stable roster right now, it's going to be hard for that push and pull on Dust 2, especially on CT side. I think they're going to get picked apart. This one's going to come down to Mirage.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think this is going to take all 3 maps. I think Overpass is a little bit of a pocket pick maybe for the Stormboar, maybe even with some uncertainty within the roster, having some sort of last-second game plan to try and throw off Overtake Sector. But I mean, I feel like the Dust 2 pick comes relatively with ease from Overtake, as it was a 13-4 victory for Overtake in their last time they played Dust 2 against each other. But Mirage is going to be a whole nother story. I feel like this is a map that both teams are very proficient on, and so I think it's going to come down to the aim duels when it comes to Dust 2 and Mirage. But if the Stormboar are able to start off hot on Overpass, I see no issue with them actually carrying that momentum into Dust 2.
I don't know. I just can't see it. I can see the Iowa Stormboar taking Overpass in a scary maybe 13-10 where they lose a couple of weird ecos because Overtake have plans on plans every single round, but I just don't see it on Dust 2, right? We're gonna have to wait to see what the roster is when we get into the server, but I do think this is going to go 3 maps, and I think it's going to end up on Mirage, and I think Iowa are going to have a sour taste in their mouth when they leave this one. Now, this is playoffs, and it is a single elimination, so loser of this is going to be out, and to be out in round of 16 wouldn't feel pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, this is kind of a vengeance matchup for Overtake to try and get their get back, if you will. But in terms of who is supposed to show up to the server, Mr. Henry Bat, for the side of Iowa Stormboar, it should be Tyra, Stormy, Dopplas, JS Feltner, and Scorchy. And on the side of Overtake sector, you have the 5 of Umar, Jason, Learcy, Sacrifice, and Intra, which that Overtake sector lineup, which I've been kind of riding high on for the past couple of weeks, is a reuniting party of ex-party astronauts, Fluffy Aimers. So this is a team that has a lot of experience behind it against a team that I feel like is still trying to find their footing. But I definitely think a map like Overpass might help them out.
It might, yeah. That Overtake Sector squad makes ESE advance for Season 58, which is a great run for them. They went 3-0 in this off-season grassroots tournament of Crossfire, beating the likes of Outfit 49, beating the likes of Regain, top-level advanced teams that didn't even play in advance this season because they've already got that ECL run for Season 52 of ECL, right? And on the other side, Iowa Stormboar, well, with 2 potential stand-ins tonight or players who are technically on the Foxtrot roster for Season 58, it's going to be shaky. But here we go, into the first map. Okay, so they are in. They have arrived. Dopplas on the server, hanging out, being chill.
Yeah, and it's going to be Binox, actually, that steps in for Stormy. So a little bit of last-minute substitution, but that's not going to change the fact they're going to try and hit this B site with a sledgehammer.
That's a good opening pick from Intro through the edge of the smoke. A double down with a good flash from Umar, and they're flooding the site. The rest of Iowa Stormboar stuck at the gates. Intro goes for a triple, but get caught from Tyra on Cat. Great stoic hold on site for Overtake as they smack back Iowa Stormboar's strong, spirited push through the monster tunnel.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of isolating these fights, though. Scorchy able to connect the dots onto Umar, but Sacrifice lives for just long enough to not live up to the name. And the pistol round is secured from Overtake sector. And I feel like this T-sided pistol from Iowa Stormboar felt a little bit awkward. They kind of got stonewalled by the likes of, I believe it was Learcy playing towards, or no, it was Intra towards short. And Sacrifice just had an easy time to really collect the pieces that his teammates left. But the redeeming factor, I'd say, in that round is that the Stormboar did a really good job of actually isolating their duels once they kind of found the space into that B-bomb site. So we'll have to see if they're able to continue isolating those fights, because I feel like I said at the beginning, it's going to be a matter of the aim, and if they're able to do that, then I don't see any issue with them actually taking this.
Oh, it's Deagle's back. Umar. Oh, okay, a little bit of a labored fight towards long, but he holds it back. JS Feltner, Deagle taps down Jason, but returned to the favor with the 5.56, no helmet. Using a quick little dirt nap, looking for more. And it looks like an easy cleanup for Overtake. Now, I agree with your sentiment. If Iowa Stormboar can bash onto either site and find those opening trades, then play patient, wait for the very fast retake style of Overtake, they might stand a chance. But a good 2-0 start for the Overtake, if they can keep 5 alive, is only going to give them more hopes and prayers, I guess, for the Iowa Stormboar. They'll have AKs in the next against a couple SMGs. That might be the only positive so far.
Yeah, and I mean, the only counteractive part I'll say, or the counter thought that I'll say about our sentiment about them, you know, really bashing their way into the site and isolating the duels and playing passive, is that this Overtake sector lineup has a lot of experience, whether it be through ECL, whether it be through high levels of advance, in actually retaking bomb sites and being able to cover each other's shoulders, have each other's backs, and really make sure all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted. So I think the Stormboar are going to need a little bit more methodical in terms of their approach towards some of these sites, but this is going to be the first real test of the times as rifles do make their way into the server for the Stormboar. We see a 3-person default back towards short water. Meanwhile, the likes of Tyra and JS Feltner are still just kind of meandering towards top mid. And sorry, that's Dopplas and Scorchy, but it doesn't matter. That's for another time. Sacrifice able to connect onto the head of JS Feltner through the wall. Umar's playing cleanup from the connector. And Doppler is close by in the short pipe, but Umar is still having intuitions about it. The 4x3 not playing into his favor. And a sacrifice finds the trade. It leaves Scorchy and Tyra in a difficult position.
It was a good fight for Iowa to get into water. They smoked that molly early, but the reflash and retake from Overtake clears the space and trades favored them. Now Tyra slipped the net a little bit towards a site. He's calling for the rotates, but Jason spots the big old booty of Tyra. As he collects the information, as he slides into bank, it's going to be an easy fight here for Sacrifice.
Yeah, lines him up, knocks him immediately down. Scorchy, conscious of the fact that there has to be some sort of information communicated, and that smoke won't do him too much of a favor, as Jason does put the finishing touches onto round 3. So Overtake, as it currently stands, have a 3-0 lead, and AK-47's in the hands of Sacrifice and Jason as well. I feel like those are the two players that you really want those AKs on in the CT side. However, the one thing I'm waiting for, Mr. Henrybat, is going to be Umar's AWP, because it feels like Umar, if he's on and he has that big green and the magic stick in his hand, then he's an unstoppable force.
Agreed. And you'd already made mention to it about how these teams watch how this team watches each other's back. They always have plans. And once Umar gets that op, he is elusive. But a quick little B pounce here. Doppler's just trying to pull any kind of utility he can, while the rest of the Iowa Stormboar work their way up mid. Jason's jump spots a little bit of info. Tyra's Deeg. Oh, what was that?
What?
Through the half wall, in the connector towards bathrooms. Jason goes from screen to black. Straight dead. Umar making money for that op later. And Overtake seem to have this under control now. Rotates have come in. They might aggress towards water here shortly to get information. Umar gets pitched towards long. Labored spray from Tyra. Loses the opportunity, and it's Scorchy to put him in the dirt. Little advantage now on the T side as Iowa slide their way towards A.
Yeah, man advantage. You can see that the rotations are starting to be made for the side of Overtake. Intra's going to make his way all the way up through CT spawn. Learcy's going to hang around back towards Graffiti to be a little bit of an insurance policy if the Stormboar do get stonewalled here on the A bomb site and try to make a pivot back down the connector. But with the Crossfire already established, that might be exactly what happens. Intra finds one, looking for a second, but going to be Sacrifice instead. Offers himself up as a little bit of a meat shield, but collects 2 for his troubles, and Intra does the same. So it's a 4-0 start for Overtake sector. Whereas the Stormboar still sitting on that donut, but will have one more opportunity with the rifles in hand. And Scorchy actually whips out the AWP, and Umar has one as well. So it's going to be a battle of the ops as we head into round number 5. And I feel like this is going to be a very decisive round. It's either going to go one way or the other, and it might actually determine how the rest of this map is going to go.
Well, those 2 AKs are still sitting on the CT side, so it makes it a little bit of a stronger start here. And HLTV tells us this is a CT-sided map, although I don't ever really seem to see it. Umar's op. Just kisses Tyra a little bit. Now he's forced out towards long, where the rest of the Stormboar wait. He does play trade-off Scorchy, which is good enough for the girls I go out with. So Iowa down by 1, but they do have space. They lose the mid control because of that fight from Jason. They have no connector or water control either, so Overtakes rotate well-timed. Communication running smooth on the CT side.
Yeah, and I like this play from the Stormboar. They've really slowed it down. Just waiting for any of that aggressive information take from Overtake sector. But I feel like as they see and hear nothing across the map, it might be what solidifies their A play. But look at this. The Molotov towards Monster has given JS Feltner a false sense of security. He's still going to try and hard clear all the angles he can. But as that molly hits towards back dice, it should flush anyone home out, but there's no one home at all. The Molotov kills Learcy. Sacrifice activates from truck, and Intra's able to find a kill from the dumpster. Scorchy is left into the 1v2, but has an AWP, the perfect tool to isolate the fights, and only takes 1 bullet, but he switches for the AK-47. And Sacrifice is on his way towards the bank. Scorchy's trying to sniff him out, but that smoke makes him inhale the smoke rather than the smell. He's just narrowly slipped the net, as you once said. Sacrifice still accounting for the angle, though, will separate the head from the shoulders, and Overtake sector find a convincing 5th round.
A little bit of a breadcrumb trail there from Sacrifice as he baits that final fight down into CT spawn. 5-0 start in Iowa Stormboar. They might need to take a tack timeout. Now, we talked about this. Dopplis being that player who's moved over to Foxtrot for Season 58. Beanox coming off the bench for Iowa Stormboar. He did a couple of times during the regular season as well, as this team has gone through some trials and tribulations since joining from that in-control roster that won Season 56 of Advanced. So they have the talent, they have the individual skill, but Overtake, Protocol's just running too deep. And as Beanox gets sent to the afterlife by a couple of big Blaker booms, that's a beautiful start to the 6th round for Overtake.
And I feel like there's not much to really write home about if you're the Stormboar. Pop Flash comes over the top of Monster. It's going to be a second one that forces Learcy to turn around, but Tyra hits a sleeper of a shot with the Tech 9. He has assistance from Dopplis coming up short, and JS Feltner connects one of the dots to himself. There's damage being dished out from heaven, but Jason only able to find one for the current moment. But that bomb still has to make it into the bomb site, and the numbers have to be punched in. A whiff shot from Umar allows that to happen, but Scorchy still has his reservations about making his way into the bomb site. It feels like it's an activation just waiting from the likes of Scorchy, but going to be Dopplis instead. Thrown into the 1v2. AWP still in the hands of Umar, but Dopplis has to try and isolate these fights and can't give too much leniency to this op of Umar. And he's almost taken too much time, still focused on heaven. Umar's going to go walking out, the shoulder spotted, but Dopplis connects the spray, has the bomb in hand, but the jump spot doesn't work in his favor. His head is plastered to the wall as Overtake Sector find their 6th in a row.
I figured that they were thinking it was going to be more of a heavy buy, Overtake. They were playing very close to those narrow choke points. After that first frag onto Beanox in short, I think they licked their lips and said, this one's done and dusted. And then a good time with a couple of pieces of utility pulled for that re-aggression towards Monster. The short push with the Tech 9s finds success. And Iowa, they slow it down in that post-plant, or almost post-plant. But again, it's the strength of Intra and Umar coming through to find that 2v4 to give a 6th for Overtake.
And if the Stormboar aren't able to change anything up here and now, it feels like it's going to be kind of the end of this overpass map, because Overtake finding 7 would essentially solidify all the breathing room that they need on the T side. Jason finds one, ducks back around the corner, and is able to convert a second, but Beanox is close by. Still has to try and find this fight, and successfully does, but not without taking attacks of his own. Drop down to 34 HP, and it's at the hands of the USP, so it'll be interesting to see how the Stormboar actually approach the rest of this round 7. You can see that there's still 2 prongs to this fork out on the B site. Just collecting information.
Is the classic Overtake rotate, though. They just play passive. Intra or Learcy, one of those two, always just stays in Graffiti as that insurance policy. And they know that dink on Beanox is good just from a USP. So they're still playing those trades. Umar going hunting with his op. He's going to see nothing. And as the smoke comes out on B site, it should be the rotate back from Overtake. Short smoke is good, slows them down, but Dopplis takes the space, finds the first frag back site, but Learcy with a pop of the smoke gets his own. 3v2 going into this potential post plan here as Beanox drops some utility to maybe fight forward on the back of this, and him and JS Feltner need to get stuck into this first one. Yeah, there they go. Fight up against that smoke. Beanox find a double.
Edging that smoke ever so carefully. Sacrifice an Intra, thinking about a boost over, maybe just trying to double up and hold the Graffiti position because they're aware of the fact that Beanox is going to try and find this fight. Has 2 flashbangs to offer assistance to JS Feltner, but it's not going to come easy as Beanox finds one. Leaves JS Feltner on an island. Shoots that AK-47, but Sacrifice finds him through the wall. The defuse will come just in the nick of time. And, I mean, Overtake Sector are looking flawless right now. I feel like if there's any opportunity for them to run away with this series in a 2-map fashion, it's going to be starting with this. I mean, as it currently stands, the Stormboard don't have much breathing room going to their CT side.
No, almost none. Now, this is the last time Overtake had them round like this, where Iowa had just purchased heavy into it. Iowa came back in with the Tech 9s. Overtake expected it to be a full purchase, so they played B site a little bit differently. Let's keep around the minimap and see what the change might be this time. No monster aggression just yet. It is just Learcy dumping some block utility. And once they confirm that the rifles are on the board for Iowa, it's going to be a change of position for Overtake Sector. AKs come through. Boost doesn't find it smart, but the push-through connector will. JS Feltner about to get caught. Oh, he slips away. Umar missed his timing.
Yeah, look how many resources that Overtake have actually committed towards this B bomb site. They're having a moment of realization that the gap is completely left open.
They were scared
and
from last time.
Yeah, someone needs to come and help support Jason, but Umar's op shot missing like that is not a good sign. Not this early on. Drops a flashbang, or at least attempts to. Beanox is still trying to find the fight, but just narrowly misses the timing of Umar jumping out of the connector. So with the Stormboar still corralled towards front bathrooms, they're going to try and silently walk their way in, but they're running into 3 members of Overtake. Intra opens up this round, but there's still a player close by Pizza, and that's going to be sacrificed. So it's going to require a hard clear, but that smoke makes that even more difficult.
But they're going to try to go back down towards connector. They lost water control. Beanox is rotating in, or sorry, JS Feltner is rotating in, and they're kind of stuck on this fight forward. 4 members of Overtake are here, and they don't just sit back on their laurels and wait. They're going to fight forward on this one. Beanox gets a freebie as Jason slides to gain the information, and that's the go signal for Iowa. They think that it's going to be clear, but there's still 3 here. Overtake set up in a crossfire, sacrifice to take the first and the swing off the back. Should collect some frags here, but they step into it, and Scorchy doubles down. It's just Lyrsy from CT spawn, and he can't find the trade. Only good for 1 here. Rotate's coming in, he has to survive, but he is in Iowa. Patient on this one as they might just post their first.
Oh! No way. Umar able to find one with the AWP, whips out that sidearm because he doesn't have time to cock the chamber back. But the Stormboar will turn the donut into the breadstick and also give us that Brazil score line, that's 7-1. But yeah, I feel like that is a textbook round from the Stormboar. I mean, considering that Scorchy was able to find 2 on the openings to the A-bomb side, I feel like sends a message to Overtake that they need to be a little bit more, not so much aggressive, but be a little bit more passive on some of their actual defenses, because those initial swings from, I believe it was Sacrifice up close, and I'm assuming they were for information, but didn't really result in much.
No. Labored by here coming out from Overtake. Now, they have everything they want, but they were slow out of spawn. Sacrifice was asking Lyrsy for a buy for quite some time. He finally gets it. There's a change of pace here down towards short. JS Feltner gets a quick trade off on Lyrsy. They know there's a second stuck in that cubby corner. And this might be the push through monster style from Overtake, as they did a couple of rounds before when they gained this information. Another heavy piece of utility. Overtake sectors got some good utility towards short water. They're in a 4v3. Monster might start getting cleared out here shortly, but they're just playing patient on it. And although it is a 7-1 scoreline, the fact that the money is almost busted for Overtake sector means this is a must-win for them, or Iowa Stormboar are going to start to close that gap.
And you can see that Overtake are starting to make adjustments across the map. It feels like Lyrsy's on the cusp of actually taking information back towards Monster, but Umar's going to make the calls. The rotations are going to come. Jason's here early, but Umar just goes jumping around for information and can't connect the dots with the op late. Jason able to rebound the frag back, but Beanox does hit the floor as well. The AWPs not having their effect in this map. And Scorchy, in a blink of an eye, is left into the 1v3. Here's shots coming out from behind and is able to whip around just in the nick of time. But now, Jason's out of ammo on the M4, and his teammate is low HP, so Scorchy had the opportunity to pull off the 1v3, but only walks away with 2 to his name. Sacrifice looking for an AK, but will not be able to retrieve one.
Now it's going to come down to the communication for Overtake. They're up 8-1. There's been a couple of tricky rounds where they've almost fumbled it, right? A 2v4, a couple of 1v1s. Iowa Stormboar are breaking their way into these sites. I'm wanting to kind of figure out what's happening with Overtake once the mid-round starts coming through. When they get into those 4v3s and they're up numbers, something is shifting. And this is going to be a chance now to make that communication work, as it's SMGs, but it's a straight B hit for Iowa.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a replay of that pistol round, but Lyrsy and the rest of Overtake have protocols in place to deal with that. Results in 2 kills for Lyrsy, but still the site hit is underway. Sacrifice collects one on the Scorchies. Tyra is able to find one with the Tech 9, and as Doppler's and Sacrifice both exchange kills, Tyra's going to be left on his own, but not much to write home about. It's a 9-1 lead for Overtake sector.
Beautifully done. Good hold on Monster. He gets 1.5. The short push a little bit late and labored from Iowa as they were burned out and they couldn't put the molly out with a smoke, so they had to wait. And that's a little bit of a saving grace, I think, for Overtake there as they do post the 9th. Purchase has to continuously come through for Iowa. No more saving as you're down 9-1. SMG still for Lyrsy, so it's not a perfect purchase for Iowa either, or for Overtake sector either. But they have changed their pace here. 4 towards A site mid.
Oh, great kill from Tyra. Solidifies the man advantage early on for the Stormboar. But with the confidence that Overtake are showing at this current moment in time, I mean, all the information they've gathered towards Fountain, and with Intra essentially tucked towards the long corner, It should give Overtake a little bit of an inclination that they can go rotating towards B, but as the utility flies over the top of the head, it's going to be that which draws out the rotations from Overtake, not the lack of information. Tyra's taking the charge back towards Pit, but is able to walk away with a kill of his own. And as it currently stands,
to make that B hit happen. Like, they just got one kill towards front mid. Tyra's like, guys, fall back. Let's just walk onto B site. That was like one flash, and they walk out monster tunnel.
I mean, you also got to think, it's the first time that the Stormboar have really encountered a lot of heavy resistance out towards Fountain and towards T-Con. So I think that off the back of maybe the Fountain smoke and the Molotov towards Playground, that's what sends them back towards B, is knowing that there's going to be more than just utility waiting for them at Fountain. And so Overtake will be forced into the save. Intra has already ran for the hills. The hunt not going to come underway. But the Stormboar will find a second. Looking for the third before we swap sides. And I'll tell you what. Launders has a saying that says, 3 is measly, 4 is more. But I think if all you can get is 3, that is a whole lot better than none.
Yeah. And the fact that they got that second towards the tail end of the half, the accounts are kind of busted for Overtake in the final round. SMGs and UMP, my favorite weapon in the game on Umar. But yeah, this is going to be potential for a third here in Iowa, finding those opening picks a couple of rounds in a row, and Overtake maybe mismanaging communication a little bit. I don't know. They're doing fine. 9-2. How can I critique them at all, you know? But Iowa should be able to capitalize on this third right here, right? AKs versus FAMASs, low utility SMGs. There's a chance.
Look how aggressive Overtake are set up towards the A site. You have Umar with that UMP playing Divider. You have Jason maintaining visual towards long with a FAMAS. So Overtake, I believe, are just playing for information and then to fall back and actually play the retake. The spam will come through the half wall. Doppler is not actually going to take any damage from it. It's going to be JS Feltner instead. With the barrage of utility starting to make its way over this B bomb site, the rest of Overtake are just trying to burrow in.
Flash missed its mark towards Monster. There's the overwhelm now. Second flash is clean. Tyra enters sight. Sacrifice finds one from Pit, but he's about to get collected from the bridge. Swing. No, he collects JS Feltner instead. Tyra plays trade, and now it's an UMP and FAMAS to play retake. As the bomb gets planted, a fresh smoke center site's going to make this very tedious. And Umar, yeah, if you would have got that frag, I would have told you to buy a lotto ticket, bro. Long range UMP. Hard fight to find 2v2.
Yeah, Tyra was low HP. Made that kill all that much easier for Jason to find. She's playing this beautifully, but the flashbang from Umar is going to be what actually draws his attention. And a nice swing from Umar out of the CT spawn will convert a 10th round for Overtake Sector, who find double digits in the first half of play, Henry Bat. Not too often we get to see that, but still, the CT side for Iowa Stormboar is what awaits.
If they get a pistol on the T side for Overtake, not that I don't want to say it's already over because I think this map is, but if Overtake get the pistol, it's surely done. There is a chance, of course, you know, I don't want to think about NRG too much, right? But that really just proved to the Counter-Strike world that it's not over until it's over. No matter how many times I, Mr. Henry Bat, will say it's over. Umar, Smoke Molly, armor for the rest on Overtake. Iowa Stormboar might have a fight plan. JS Feltner has gifted some dualies to his friends. They've yet to pick them up. He has a flash in hand. Let's see who picks them up and where they want to go. Overtake is the type of team that just burst onto a site. Maybe a monster rush, maybe straight up towards long. But they take attack timeout so they can piece this puzzle together. It's got to be Sacrifice and Jason stepping up in this pistol round, and maybe they can get themselves to 20 kills, one or the other.
You know, as much as I want to agree that it should be Sacrifice and Jason both stepping up, I think I need to see more out of Umar, Learcy, and Intra. I mean, clearly the stats aren't all that there, but I mean, you want to see them get activated with the rifles. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Entry men here, Sacrifice and Jason, they're hot to trot, right? Get a 3K for Sacrifice, 20 kills, 13 rounds deep. Write that one off real quick. Go to map 2, does 2. Okay, dudes for Scorchy. JS Feltner sells one pair back to get himself a smoke instead. Passes the flash to B-Nox. So we got to see where this fight's going to go.
This has to be a fight play, yeah. This absolutely has to be some sort of aggressive pistol round play from the side of the Stormboar. Based on where Scorchy is playing, it's going to be towards short water.
Uh-oh.
Tyra's going to be caught off guard. 3 members of Overtake just waiting for him, but
Help me, there's three
behind the
here.
rock. Tyra defends it one, finds a second as well. Trying to find the third, but it's going to come off of the back of an overzealous swing from Intra, and now the dual Berettas make an appearance towards Fountain. Umar's able to shut them down, but Tyra is still standing and finds a fourth kill. It's absolutely flawless from him. Not taking a lick of damage either, and JS Feltner puts the cherry on top. What a round from Tyra.
That seemed rather scary, right? They had the one mid, one long. The overtake sector was grouped up to take this fight. And of course, as Tyra collects his thoughts behind the rock, he pops 3 heads and finds a 4th. Easy pistol for Iowa, and maybe we're not done. I'm eating my words on this one. Let's go, Iowa. I'm just kidding. Non-biased caster. We're looking for a good game of Counter-Strike. That's all. That's all. Rifles, SMGs on the CT side. Deegs galore on the T side. 1P25-0.
Big nade drops Umar down to 73 HP. Just going to go swinging instead. Tyra activates out of the connector. That 4-3 resolution not playing into anyone's favor this map, but Umar able to rebound, and so does Sacrifice. So the alley-oop is there. The man advantage still, I'd say, leans in the favor of the Stormboar, as they do have superior firepower, but some of these rifles and SMGs are going to be picked up by the likes of Overtake. Jason is close on the jump spot, definitely heard by Doppler, but Jason not spotting him on the Jiggle Peak will solidify the fact that he's going to continue his walk towards bathroom, but that is exactly what Doppler wants, especially when he finds Sacrifice with the bomb in his hands, just kind of asleep at the keyboard. And Doppler will collect 2. The M4 thrown out of the map as to not be recovered.
Oh, we heard it land below at Graffiti.
Yeah, falls towards Graffiti. Enox will put the cherry on top, but won't recover that M4 A4. And the Stormboar find a 4th round. So, Henry Bat, I hate to say you caster cursed it, but it's starting to look like that. But we will not truly know.
When this game gets like 8-10 or 9-11, then maybe. I want to highlight that push from Doppler there. He hears the information. I don't think he spotted the guy, but he presses forward and finds himself a 2-piece. And sometimes when you're down numbers, you don't want to take those risks, and it becomes a little bit nervous. But a player like Doppler, no stress. He makes the right play, finds a double, and helps Iowa secure the 4th from a scary start. Here we are, round 15, and rifles on the board for the T side. Lacking utility and pressure forward from Iowa this time. And Tyra's got some support here from Scorchy, but it's a very one-and-done position.
Yeah, I feel like that was the same story as the pistol round. Tyra playing behind the rock, but Umar is going to be keen to the angle. Tyra's going to be caught on the retreat. The flashbang narrowly misses him, but Intra will be the one to walk away with the kill. An immediate reaction from Scorchy as he tries to abandon ship, and the rotation from Doppler is already on its way up towards the A bomb site. So in the 2v2, or in the 2-and-2, rather, from the CT side, we're going to see information being taken towards long. Maybe an attempt at finding a fight, or even trying to catch Overtake off guard through bathrooms, but feels like they need to find a fight here and now. And with Scorchy boosted on the AC vent, that's a lot of information they're actually gaining. And Doppler's just going to walk in free of charge towards bathroom. And he might miss the timing, but that timing might tell him everything he needs to know. Sacrifice is still lingering around, but Doppler's instead should be the sacrifice. Onto the altar, and the head chopped off.
They could
still trying to take space, but JS Feltner going to be on the swing, able to connect the dots onto Umar, and that actually puts the pedal to the metal for Overtake. They have 15 seconds left. A rotation has been drawn back down, but still, Beanox is a little bit hesitant on actually keeping his residence here. Turned from the flashbang is Learcy, but he's still going to go charging towards backside. It's Jason to collect JS Feltner, and Beanox as well. So in the 3v1, Scorchy has to try and isolate these duels coming into the site, but from heaven it's going to be a little bit more difficult because all eyes are on him.
Doppler getting caught off like that in bathrooms. It's an unfortunate timing. Sacrifice plays it to perfection. And Overtake sector had one singular smoke to make that execute on B site work. And the fact that they got that kill, that Sacrifice found it, and he started sprinting straight up bathrooms, making noise, drew the rotation off, and a perfect timing for them to walk in. There was only 2 seconds left before they were unable to plant as well. So Iowa's patience almost paid off, but a big 11th. As the caster curse might be broken again.
We'll see about that. I mean, I feel like this third round of the second half is a very telling one, because it's the first time that both rosters will have did have rifles. And now with Stormboar having the economy that they do, there's not going to be much of an answer to the rifles of Overtake. There's going to be one M4 dropped over into the hands of, I believe that was Tyra. Scorchy scoops his rifle back up. But a little bit of a lack of utility. They still have all the right pieces to the puzzle to delay any sort of push from Overtake. But I still think Overtake are going to find the gaps, just like Jason is in that Molly, able to completely subvert it.
Tyra's got to go big in connector. He can't take the fight forward again against Intra, but now he's got to get out as the smokes come through and Scorchy doesn't stay to play. Tyra takes a whole heap of damage and so does Scorchy, and they're forced back. Small amounts of utility to take all of this space, and Iowa have nothing left. 2 smokes and a molly. Doppler's taking a fight with a 5-7 towards Monster, but again, patience from the T side as Learsy. Labored spray finds one. JS Felder to play the trade, but that's great information for Overtake because they know, hey guys, they've pressed this issue. They know where we are. The group up starts to happen, but look where the bomb is on the minimap. Iowa are in a pretty good position, and they don't even realize it.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how the Stormboar actually react to some of this information. I mean, if I'm Sacrifice, still have to be cautious of a Monster walkthrough. Rifle not going to be recovered deep in towards Monster, so a little bit less firepower that Overtake do have to try and overwhelm. And Tyra on the reposition towards Long is going to be caught out. It's a little bit of an awkward play, but Scorchy's able to rebound all of the contact. Sacrifice lines one up. Enox instead from Truck is able to trade. But Intra's going to be the one to seal the deal. And nade over the top actually misses, but Jason will find the kill instead. It's Overtake sector on to map point. On the map pick of the Stormboar at that. And I feel like we had a little bit more confidence in the Stormboar actually coming into Overpass, but I feel like they're going to have to really hit the ground running on Dust 2, to say the least.
Yeah, Dust 2 is a lot of mid-round calling as well on the CT side where they're probably going to start. And if that round is any indication of how the communication for Iowa is going right now, it's not great. Tyra was in a good spot back Dice. The rotation up forced him to fight towards Long instead of just playing patient and sitting in a layered defense. They tried to fight forward, got caught off and allowed Overtake to grab 12. Beanox chunked up early, but this poor purchase from Iowa might just be the final straw. Overtake, 8 chances to close this out. Stop. Your CZ from a distance doesn't work, my friend.
But the push and pull of the attention definitely is going to work. Scorchy and Tyra able to find one of their own. Intra is going to be caught off guard from the walkthrough towards Monster. And so Umar and Jason feel forced into this A-bomb site where the rotations are already happening. Scorchy's making his way all the way back through the dumpster, trying to offer assistance, but Enox 5 HP and Umar will hit the floor. Jason flips the head.
Jason's got no armor. Why? He only got 1 kill. He had 900 bucks. He could have bought something.
Good question, but he will sacrifice Doppler's, make that a 2-piece. Needs the ace to pull off the clutch, and Henry Bat, he's found the complete opening. It's a rotation back into the B-bomb site, and look at where Stormboar are on the map. They have no easy way to actually find their rotation back in, so there's going to be a lot of time burned off of this bomb timer.
They need another push and pull off the Scorchy util.
Try to find their way back in. Oh, and Jason's he's convinced that they're coming from the flank and through connector. This wood wall position is so strong from Jason, especially if he's able to catch Scorchy off guard. JS Feltner will be the one to hold off the Overtake sector push. And they get to stay alive for another day. I mean, it felt a little bit like a nail biter. I was definitely biting mine in that round 17, but Stormboar will stay alive. It's 5 rounds for them. Overtake, like you mentioned, 8 rounds or 8 opportunities to close it out, now turned into 7.
Here's something we haven't seen from Overtake just yet. A save. I feel like Intra could probably drop one, make this less of a save and more of a forced purchase in. And he's doing just that. 3 AKs, Tech 9, Galil. I didn't curse anything. Not yet. Not yet. We can't call this one that. I'm just having fun.
I was saying the save. The save.
Oh, the save? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a save.
Forced into this. You got 8,200 bucks. Yeah, it's a forced buy. It's a save of sorts, I guess. But we might get to see one here if Iowa can pick this one up. He90? No, okay, no. MP7. I looked at the gun model, then found the number. Freebie. Enox finds it. Easy does it. He only saw a pistol, so they haven't confirmed the purchase just yet. Maybe Iowa has the same inkling that I did, that it was going to be a save. So let's see if anybody goes eco-hunting and tries to stay to play a little bit too long and gets taught a quick lesson in 762 physics.
Oh, I like that one, I'm not going to lie.
Don't lie to me.
762 physics?
I don't know, bro. I'm just saying things, bro. I'm yelling at the mic. I don't know what I'm doing around here.
Opening
Tyra
door for
confirms
Tyra.
the AK, though.
A great information play, I think, from Tyra. Steering around the edge of that smoke, able to whittle down the numbers even further. Jason still has to be cautious about this push. That front side smoke will narrow some of the angles, but open up Scorchy to find his own. Intra's on the approach from long and does convert the kill onto Tyra. Sacrifice has to be a little bit of a late entry here. Intra's going to try and draw all the attention away and successfully finds damage onto Scorchy, but can't walk away with the kill. So with Sacrifice on the 20 bomb, he won't be able to make it into the 21. As now, the Stormboar are starting to rack up the money. And Overtake feel like they're in the back seat.
That front A smoke Scorchy played around is pretty well by design for Iowa Stormboar. I think Overtake haven't got a chance to see it just yet. But now that they've seen it, it got re-smoked. They tried to dance around it. They all got caught off by it. The next time they have rifles in hand, they're definitely going to wait for that. They're going to maybe pop it open, maybe even play through it, because that might be a little bit of a double-edged sword for Iowa. But now the save does come through, a proper one at that against the rifle round. Deagles and Glocks, not just a post-pistol save. Tyra's caught. Oh, gross shot. A little bit of a wig splitter there from Tyra. Umar humbly passes the AK back. Quick check. He says, that's not mine. I believe it's yours.
And it's honestly kind of surprising that Learcy's going to be the one to keep it in the hands. On the
What's that
barrel
old
in
adage
terms
of, like, what did Zeus say about Simple? If we have an AK and a Deagle, Simple takes the Deagle because there's a 50% chance he gets a kill. There's a 50% chance I get a kill with the AK. Simple has the AK.
Yeah,
There's a 100% chance he gets it. But I'll get 0 with the Deagle. This is an eco round, bro. It's easy cleanup by Iowa. They have the setup.
Yeah.
Same smoke towards front sight. Crossfire is established.
I
I
have
can
faith
understand
after
why
that
you
first
kept
kill.
it. Yeah, for sure, but easy cleanup. Iowa grasping at straws still. 5 rounds for them to go before overtime. They need 9 to win this game. And now the rifles come back out. No op, though. A Galil and scatter of utility for Overtake.
You know, you were talking about Zeus saying there's a 50% chance he gets the kill. I feel
No,
like,
0%. If he has the AK, he has 50%. 0% if he has the Deagle. So he gives it to Simple.
Okay.
So they can take 2 fights, and it's 50-50 on 2 instead of 0% on one and 50% on the other.
I feel like I heard that from OniPixel at 1.2. Your
Yeah,
odds are
probably.
50% to get the knife. You either do or you don't.
Yeah, that's it. A guy I worked with for a long time, his name is Nick Marin. I'll put him on blast. He said everything in life is 50-50. Everything. Because you either do or you don't. And it's a terribly negative way to look at life. But it's worked out for him. He's a pretty successful man. So good fight for Scorchy out towards long, and pressure from Tyra, first time in a long time.
Sacrifice out of the round. Jason's going to try and push forward with some of the distraction that has been caused on the backside, but Intra is still having a hard time actually dealing with the aggression from Tyra. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie towards the party, but Tyra's made the proper move, and now his position is located, so Learcy will have to put him away.
It's a good isolation of that fight by Overtake, but it took a long time to get there.
Yeah, but look at this. JS Feltner's already on the prowl. The rotations have been made for the Stormboar, so it's a matter of whether or not Overtake can actually go and make the rotation and the pivot back towards the B bomb site. But even if they do, they still have Enox waiting in the wings. Utility reigns over the top of this A bomb site. Doppler still maintaining position towards Struck. Will be sat out of this round. Scorchy's going to have to find an impact as he's the last one surviving on this A bomb site as JS Feltner strikes the backside. Able to convert, but still his position completely known about. And so Learcy and Intra have all of the time in the world to actually set up these crossfires and make the task all impossible for JS Feltner to actually approach. Intra is going to be the first supposedly on the chopping block, but as the peak comes in, Indra will be the one to seal the deal. It's a 13-7 victory for Overtake Sector on the map pick of the Stormboar being Overpass.
Couple of 20 bombs on the Overtake side as well helps them across the line, and it's pretty fine. 13-7. And I don't want to say that was easy, right? Iowa got some good rounds on their CT side. They were able to slow the push from the Overtake Sector's T side, but that's just CT side Overpass, in my opinion. But now Dust 2 waits in the wings. Blakert, want to take a break?
Yeah, I also want to say before we go to break, I feel like I want to see more out of Umar going into Dust 2. It felt like a very underwhelming performance from him, especially whenever whenever he's missing the shots with the AWP. So going into map 2, I want to see more out of Umar, but for the side of the Stormboar, I feel like I need to see more out of them as a whole. I need to see more cohesion from them. But before we do send it to break, Henry Bat, I want to give a shout out to SCL, one of the partners that helped put on Crossfire Season 5. And I don't know if you have used SCL, but it's been gaining a lot of rapport with not just players in the highest levels of North America, but also some of the broadcast talent, because I get to use SCL as a tool to really prepare for these broadcasts. I can overlay multiple demos onto one and identify certain trends, whether it be Umar actually trying to play a rotational based AWP or Doppler's being the lurk for the Stormboar. And not only do they have a 2D demo viewer, they also have practice servers, scrim servers. I know they have a scrim finder now. So a lot of exciting stuff happening over on SCL. So if you're looking to improve your own individual gameplay or build some structure into your team's gameplay, make sure to head on over to SCL. But for the here and now, Henry Bat, we're going to have to see if Doppler's and co are able to draw themselves over the line in Dust 2.
SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like defense mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And trade fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
I can't tell you why you have to stay here on the ground. It's overrated, the cityscape parades you with the sound. It's delineated, no one here has even learned your name. But they all claim that they saw you land and meant to do the same. But they won't make it every moment. I see you on the rise, you're drawn across the sky. Now that ink has dried, and I can't tell you why. Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why. Tell me there's an issue. I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Maybe can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
We show up. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party.
We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the party. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party.
We show up in the party.
Mr. Henry Batt, after a little
Sure.
bit of a labored day at the work site for the Stormboar being overpass, we have made it to the map pick of Overtake sector being Dust 2, and we touched on how this might be a little bit of a one-sided affair in terms of this specific map. But is there anything in particular that you're looking for from the Stormboar or from Overtake to actually propel themselves into this 2-0 or 1-1 map?
Well, an opening fight towards long and winning it would be nice. Scorchy with a double, playing a 2-for-2 trade, but they're stuck into this fight. They know about this last one to Tyra. They already hit him. They're closing this gap quickly. The flash does nothing. Tyra doesn't even get a chance to look away. Learsy drops him with a 9mm. Now Doppel going to have to do his best Kukli impression with those dualies. That smoke's to fade in the next 5-10 seconds. He's going to walk through and get caught. Ooh, good opening. Finds the first. See around the smoke at depth. The last two Overtake members, they're playing together and they're looking for this fight. They're staying on the ramp side and they've isolated it. Easy does it. 1-0 start for Overtake. And you ask me what I'm looking for Iowa. I want to see them make plans every single round. They get a fight protocol towards long and they see nothing. I want an immediate change of pace from them to fight down towards cat. I don't want them sitting on sites waiting for the execute. I don't want to see Overtake sector be able to get cat control by a minute 20. I don't want to see Overtake sector be able to just take long every single round. I want to see Iowa fight forward, make a new plan, and fight again. They have to be changing, ever changing, because Overtake beat them 13-4 last time.
Yeah, and I think to kind of, ooh, good pick on, or deal damage onto Intro, rather. Or be able to connect the dots with a sleeper onto Umar. Tyra's having his own impact back towards long. I think, to kind of sum up what you were saying, a little bit less reactionary Counter-Strike from the side of the Stormboar. So, we'll see if that's the case.
Reactionary might be a nice word for it, but it has to be like fully communicated reactionary. The plan has to be made and it must be followed. And at this point, I don't think it matters who makes the plan. Someone should do something, because you're going to get rocked and rolled. Overtake looking nice here, as they've gained that space towards mid and they've isolated multiple fights. JS Felder with a deagle towards long, has support from Beanox. And Overtake just going to regroup towards lower mid.
And while this round kind of concludes, which it might come to a fast one if Doppels is able to find something, but will be shut down. She's going to be put on the chopping block next, has a scout towards backside, is able to find 2 kills and finds all 3, but make it 4 in the round. 1 through the double doors out mid. and a shooting gallery towards upper B, and recovers an AK-47 for his trouble. So,
Looks just like me in my Face It level 9 games. No, I'm just kidding. I get beat up. Scorchy's a beast. That was a great 4-piece from him. And Iowa do exactly what is needed. They find some good fights. I don't even mind Doppelus going info gaining in lower tunnels. It does set Scorchy up for those. So a good first on the board for them, and they're looking for more.
What?
Oh my god. Dude, that's 7 scout kills over the last 2 rounds for the Iowa Stormboar.
oh my god.
Chunky
Actual
boy.
sleeper of a shot onto Jason. They're still trying to take charge of round number 3 for the side of Overtake, but Scorchy is caught on his retreat, able to drop down in towards CT, but the smoke towards Catwalk completely dissuades any sort of push that Overtake were even thinking about. Lircy and Co. still put onto the back burner, just trying to find some sort of isolated fight, but considering that the 2 scouts are going to be the low HP, it feels like it should be an easy collection for them, but they're still having more trouble than you'd expect. Doppler's still
Another
waiting
tank,
on this
too.
B bomb site, so if the pivot does happen towards B, Iowa will be completely ready for it.
I don't know how much info
Instead, it's going
gaining
to be towards Catwalk.
I don't know how much info gaining Jarius Feltner needs to do here. He does do a little bit of a peek and a fall back. And it's just poking and poking and prodding. Lircy finishes off the injured Scorchy. And a B split looks like it's going to come through here shortly. Who's there? Tyra and Doppelus. Set up for it. Another swing and a miss. And Iowa are just playing patient now. They're just sitting back waiting for these fights. There's nothing they really need to do. Umar collects on a Tyra, and now it's just Doppelus on the B site. And they have time. Overtake can make it there. Mid-round communication lacking a little bit as they do stumble together. Good shot from Beanox to close this gap, but all of a sudden it's got to be on Doppelus. This is getting scary now.
And James Feldner able to take sacrifice out of the round. Doppelus has burrowed in back towards the car and should be able to catch Lircy off guard, and that will makes things all that much easier. So the Stormboar, after losing the pistol round, have bounced right back, and this feels already better than their initial matchup in the Nostalgia League where they lost 13-4. So I'm looking forward to seeing if the Stormboar are able to continue playing this really decisive style of Counter-Strike on the CT side, because it feels like, especially when you have Scorchy with the AWP just knocking people out, maybe made it so much more easy.
It'd be nice if
Doors
they
on
win this
doors.
map, especially the way they're playing right now. Aggressive, looking for those fights. Because Mirage is going to be a scary one for them as well. Here we go. B-split coming through. Spam from Tyra. Forced and caught on the reload, but he gets up into the window. He smacks him back. Is Mirage map 3? Am I blind? No. Easy cleanup. It's just an eco. 3-0, or 3-1, sorry, for Iowa.
I'm a little bit concerned with the fact that Overtake were able to just kind of waltz down mid. I mean, there was a little bit of a cleanup from the Stormboar in terms of the 2 players who made it close, but if one of those Glock bursts finds the player in the face, then it's kind of a sealed deal in terms of Overtake finding that B bomb site. So maybe a little bit more pressure towards mid, and that's exactly what will happen. Tyra's actually going to take charge back towards bottom tunnels, but does have support, albeit the boosted AWP. Sacrifice should be put up on the chopping block. Shoulder spotted, jump spot as well. And Scorchy not phased by the funny business that Sacrifice is putting on. Tyra able to find an activation point and reach the rewards. Intra still trying to find a fight towards Catwalk, but has to be cautious of this lower player because Tyra is still waiting in the wings. Scorchy has a close range duel, but he misses the op shot. Intra's able to recover and finds 1 kill, but Pinox is right by his hip to convert the trade. The numbers still in favor of the side of the Stormboar, but as Feltner solidifies that, Umar only has an AWP to work with. And as much as I'd like to say it's a ideal weapon to try and find your way or find your footing into this situation, Umar hasn't been showing the results in this series that I need to see to be convinced that he can even have a chance at pulling this off.
Agreed. Now, I think back one round, and maybe Iowa played that anti-eco by design. 2B, 3A, let them straight down the guts of mid. On the opposite side of that, Overtake doing something super fast like that, being like, do or die, boys, just send it straight down, gives me a good little feeling in my stomach saying that their first rifle round should have probably been a little bit better than that. They didn't have a flash for Cat. The smoke towards door landed beautifully, but there was no molly into lower when they could have from top mid. No flash from lower to block Cat when the player definitely could have. It was a little bit of a sloppy default round from Overtake, as I think, again, by design, Iowa Stormboar fed them a little bit of false security in that previous eco round.
We're able to find a little bit of a cash injection into the back pocket, but as the time expires, $250 is all he will walk away with. The AWP is still going to be recovered. Smoke and a flashbang as well on the belt. But I'm interested to see how Overtake approach this. They're actually going to give the op over to Learsy. Maybe just trying to prioritize that long doors fight.
Enoch should be there. Scorchy's got the spawn with the op as well, so it's going to be Opper versus tertiary Opper for Overtake.
Oh!
No way, nice shot.
There's no way they can be allowing this. It's absolutely criminal from the fact that Scorchy is able to find the repeat at that. I mean, Intric finds a kill, but it feels like nothing more than a commiseration frag, especially when... oh my lord, Jason's hitting sleepers of his own. Forces a turn from the flashbang, still giving that 1v1 duels, but took the AWP. Pyra able to wrangle that AK spray. But more importantly, Scorchy finds two, able to bring that AWP into the next round, and has plenty of money to offer a drop to JS Feltner, which will happen. And there's two AK-47s in the hands of Doppler and Tyra, and I want to mention that it feels ever so important that Doppler is the one to receive one of those AKs, being that B anchor.
Scorchy's 11-3 as well, so a confidence booster for him. Back to basics here for Iowa. Straight up towards mid this time. It's another fight play coming forward from them. AK's waiting on the other side. A good spray from Enox to find the first. Can't collect the second. It's Umar lacking that op. Galil does just as well. And now the flashes are coming in for top mid to clear this space out. But Sacrifice might not be able to find Tyra. Molly does burn deep enough, and Tyra, oh my god. 4 HP, the dream, and he gets himself out. That got a little scary. No way, Tyra stays? What? Where are we? What are we watching? Iowa Stormboar change the pace up here. Maybe Overpass is a little bit of a gimme for Overtake, and they come into this one licking their lips a little bit too much, stuffed from the first meal. And Tyra's going to try to pop it here in lower tunnels.
And with 4 HP, it feels like a risky play, but this is exactly what you need to do. Doppler's by his hip, trying to locate where Sacrifices ran off to. Both Sacrifice and Learsy are completely isolated. The information has been gathered, and on the reload, Tyra should collect Sacrifice free of charge. So Learsy has a long walk happening. He looks for the fight into CT spawn, does find his reward, but Scorchy on an absolute tear so far. I mean, 13-3 heading into round 8.
Yeah, he's only realistically been gifted, what, 17 duels, 3 of which he's lost, 13 he's won, and we saw 1 missed shot with the op in the round previous. So standing on his head at a 6-1. And I think Overtake need to take a little bit of attack time out here. Their purchase is disgusting. Jason saving a little bit, Umar saving to get the op, everybody else relying on that 3400, expecting to get a bomb plant in this round. And it's JS Feltner's turn to stuff long doors. Lower B tunnels, maybe going to get pushed by Iowa as well. Tyra seems like he wants to risk it.
Oh, great HE. Learsy going to take the charge and try and spearhead his way back out towards long. JS Feltner nearly rounds the corner, but still able to walk away with his life. HP advantage still leans in favor of Overtake, but still rotations have been made for the Stormboar, and they feel a little bit preemptive, but they would be correct in making this call.
I like this. The re-aggression towards Cat, even if in a 5-on-5, they're looking for it. But let's just get his head up and get wrecked by the 5.56 and JS Feltner. Second layer of utility comes through so they can fully clear it. The pitter-patter up towards long signifies the attack. And they're off site for this one. This is beautiful gameplay from the CT side of Iowa. Pop of the smoke for Scorchy to get another. Tyra slows it down even more, and Overtake's dreams of a bomb plant might just be a pipe. But they're on site now. They can plant, and this is what they need. The long push is coming through as well.
Great heads-up play. Learsy drops that bomb for Umar to plant. Learsy having the superior firepower, but Learsy's given opportunities to isolate the duels, and as Beanox goes jumping up, it will only be for joy, as the Stormboar have found a 7th and have mirrored the score up to this point. that they found on Overpass, but have had, I mean, a fruitful CT side at that. I mean, I talked about how these two teams faced off one another in Nostalgia League playoffs, and this was a one-sided affair for Overtake, but I almost feel like we might be seeing kind of a mirror image where Overtake are able to find that first map, but I'm not sure what it would be if maybe Overtake comes in a little bit too overconfident into map 2 and 3, or what the case actually is. But
curse it. Don't cast or curse it. Scorchy still stinging. Finds a 15th, but it's a long play anyways for Overtake. And Iowa are just playing extremely loose here. Everybody's hitting their shots except for JS Feltner, as I say it. 2.5 minutes behind. Can't really cast or curse it, but yeah, good cross and a catch again from Scorchy. This is just great team play from Iowa. They're finding those frags, they're looking for fights, and they're not just sitting back waiting for Overtake to take the space. Well done, Scorchy, to get a flash assist as well.
Oh, Intra's feeling snappy. Has 2 kills to his name, goes for the wide swing, a missed op shot from Scorchy, but whips out the sidearm and is able to convert. I mean, it's the Scorchy show here on Dust 2, Henry Bat. Sitting at 17 and 4.
Yep. Unbelievable. And I was talking about 2 of the players, I can't remember who it was, Jason and Sacrifice, who were 15 and 17 to finish the half. Well, Scorchy's looking for a 20 bomb on the first half of CT side Dust 2, and with 3 rounds to go, averaging more than a kill a round, well, I think he might just be able to do it. Tyra back to that lower push on the eco, making a top mid press, but it's very solo, and he catches the first fight top mid. Spray transfer for the second's good enough, but he runs out of bullets. Glock to send him to the grave. And another cat aggression from Scorchy. Plays on plays as the lower push from Dopplis comes through after he collects his own. Good heads up play by Iowa.
Umar's just around the corner, whips out the rifle in the nick of time, but Scorchy is gonna find a kill of his own, and I mean, what more could you ask for? And, you know, one thing I kind of want to piggyback off of that you were mentioning in the prior round is that there's a lot of team play going on, but I feel like a lot of this team play is being facilitated by the fact that Scorchy is able to cement early round man advantages. And whether that's with the mid peak, whether that's with the long peak, I feel like Overtake are a little bit weak without their full 5 alive and kicking in the server. And I mean, we're seeing that come to fruition here and now.
I don't think they expected what's happening to them right now, right? We even talked about this. What's the roster going to look like for Iowa? And with the fact that it's Beanox coming in, Dopplis is playing as well, and he's not really on the team anymore, I think they figured it was a broken Iowa. And the fact that they beat up on them on Overpass, a map that Overtake is like a 5th map for them, I think they were sitting pretty coming into this one, and they've been taught a quick lesson in humility on their T side. But now with a little bit of an advantage, they are looking to get that 2nd round victory, but Tyra, rightfully so, just evacuates B site towards window to try to tether off of Beanox, but a failed pop smoke leaves him stranded on site.
Smoke from Tyra into upper B. Overtake sector find their footing into this B bomb site. Still a mid lurk to be dealt with. That's going to be the AWP of Umar, but you can see that Tyra and his accomplice back into CT spawn. Beanox are still aware of this. Tyra goes hunting for information a little bit too early on that plan of the bomb, but Scorchy has a 1v3. If I'm Scorchy, I'm going for this. AWP in hand, plenty of money in the bank accounts. But Overtake not overstepping their boundaries, still trying to play that responsible style of Counter-Strike. But I feel like it's only happened whenever we've gotten into the post plants. It hasn't been occurring in the early rounds. They're just trying to brute force their way into bomb sites. And on a map like Dust 2, which you even mentioned requires a lot of CT mid-round calling, doesn't feel like that's going to be the optimal style of play. But Sacrifice does put a 2nd round onto the scoreboard for Overtake sector. And Henry Bat, it feels a little bit too late.
That was only the 2nd bomb plant for them on the T side. You can see it right there. I guess they got it in pistol too, but they won the round. Round 8 was the last one. And tricky little play on the CT side. Draw your eyes bottom left, chat. You'll know what I'm talking about here. 7 ops in play.
Oh, op shot rings out. The first of many in round 12. I'm a little bit taken aback.
Iowa. We can just sit and watch this round, see what happens.
One time towards Catwalk, tries to draw off Scorchy from having his gaze turned towards top mid, but it's just going to cement the fact that JS Feltner can hang out Top Flash will take him off the angle, but he just crouches under the bullets and is able to make his getaway. Entra able to open up and spearhead this A long charge, but Tyra activates his op, and Scorchy's going to be put under the bright lights here and now, and does separate the head from the shoulders of Intra. There's more Overtake members still trying to overwhelm this A bomb site, but they've already found free real estate. It's just a matter of them actually making their way in and punching the numbers in.
3 ops on the retake is going to be not fun. With this flank from Sacrifice through lower, it looks like Scorchy might be ready for this, if he's ready for this. No, who's that top mid? JS Feltner. Changes his mind.
Oh,
Goes
but he
towards
turns
long.
around.
Yeah, missed the timing. 3 op retake, 2 op now as Tyra upgrades. Leerzy finds the frag towards long and closes down that avenue. Jason, whack-a-mole towards Cat from Scorchy's POV. Knocked over 5-7. Trace isn't good enough. And Tyra caught out, 3rd on the board. The 5 op setup from Iowa Stormboar stings a little bit. And let's see if it comes back to haunt them.
I'm going to be honest, I respect it.
Yeah, why not? You got the money for it, have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, losing map number 1, coming into map number 2 of Dust 2, and for lack of better words, steamrolling Overtake on the CT side. And where else could you invest that money other than an auto sniper? It's going to be the AWPs, but we'll have to see if the Stormboar are able to continue their momentum back into this T side, because I have a feeling that Overtake are going to look to meet them face first, but it's going to be a repeat of the pistol round. It's an all-out brawl towards A long, which Jason this time is going to be the one that prevails. Sacrifice still hunting for more money into that back pocket, but it's going to be met with flashbangs as Tyro finds 2.
God.
And Scorchy is right by to offer support. So this round in the blink of an eye has been evened out, but Scorchy is thrown into the 1v2. And Jason is going to be the one to hang his head on the fireplace. It's a 4th round for Overtake.
That flash. That was a good flash from Iowa towards long. And patient fights as well. They tried to pull that one back, but a 4th on the board. Getting into this one. Leerzy yet to purchase. Maybe MP9? Top mid push? You got the spawn for it, my friend. Why not? Deeps in the scout on the T side as they half invest. Talk to me about that one, Blakert. What is going on here with their economy?
I mean, I feel like it's an understandable play. The objective of this, if you find the round win, if you're the Stormboar, is to have rifles in the next round, but also allow Beanox to start investing early into that AWP and find it on the T side. But Intra instead is going to find 3 members of the Stormboar corralled back in towards lower tunnels. Sacrifice and Intra both able to take one of their own, but Jason is going to offer support from bottom mid, and it is a team, no, not a team ace. And as Intra will steal that one from Leerzy, but still a 5th round for Overtake. And Beanox is going to be forced onto the scout, presumably. No, picks up a MAC-10 instead.
This is what I'm talking about. Him and JS Feltner purchased in the last, and they could have AKs and a good amount of utility, but instead it's a Tech 9, MAC-10 combo, and maybe Overtake are going to underestimate this purchase, because they saw the scout, they fought against the Deagle on Catwalk. Who knows? Tyra taking mid control quite quickly, minute 40, and he's already at double doors. He slides through this smoke, sneaky beaky, Kerrigan-like.
Smoke coming from tunnels as well. Tyra able to activate towards bottom mid, but the smoke wall that's been deployed towards upper B will not put a halt, or at least I thought, to the push of the Stormboar as they look to pivot back towards lower tunnels. There's been a lot of space taken from Tyra as well, and he's probably hearing all of the footsteps back in towards CT and knows that there's not going to be anyone close by Cat. Intra has to maintain his hall monitor roll back towards long, and Umar is here to bounce back and forth between long and Catwalk, but playing the safer option is going to be the decision from Overtake, doubling up towards long, but there's already some hesitations as Intra is making his way back towards car.
Look at the utility. There's almost nothing left for Iowa. They have to have this flash go through the door so they can take this space. Umar is deep enough to not get caught by this. He can fall into pit and have support from sight, but they elect to do it for free here. Maybe a little cleanup from Umar. He's got to get 2 to slow this down. First for free. Stays to play for the second. Flashes for himself. The rotate's coming down. He does collect that second, and now it's Intra from Carr to catch out Doppeless. This long pinch back from Iowa Stormboar caught, and I think we're about to have the funny number online here.
Are we? Because Tyra's made his activation from Catwalk. He's going to hear the rotations, and Beanox has been given space to punch the numbers in. So if Tyra's able to find an optimal fight, which he will not, it should have been a little bit more of an easy task for Beanox to pull off. MAC-10 and a Tech 9 at his draw, but Jason strikes him back from long. It's going to be a 6th round, and Henry Bat, we do find that funny number.
Yep. I saw this quote online the other day, and it was like, I'd hate to be 68 right now.
Oh no.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
I'm
but
not
on
saying
either,
it
on
either.
on either side of it, you got funny numbers. As the scoreline reads, 69. Overtake closed that gap to within 3. And now the economy finally, I guess, kind of coming into check here. Beanox forcing down quite quickly because he can, but the rest of Iowa looking back in saying, what are we doing, boys? Lost bonus maximized on the T side. They're going to save a little bit. There you go, Beanox, Galil. No helmet with a Galil on the T side, but you get a smoke, a molly, and a flash instead. Got to be by design. Space to be taken quickly here from Iowa. But the response is a triple cat push from Overtake.
And trying to peer over the top of that catwalk smoke. The smoke being broken open will allow a spot to be had, but it's only going to be Tyra that is revealed. Molotov towards bottom mid. Tyra has his toes tickled, but still, look at the position from the Stormboar. It's going to be an all-out B hit, and Learcy is close by to actually receive all of the contact. The flashes go to the top. Learcy's trying to go into the smoke, sprams that AK-47 away, but runs out of ammo. They're all in the smoke on top of each other, but J.S. Feltner somehow dies to his own molly, maybe? Tyra has a early drop down into CT spawn. Sacrifice close by should hunt him down and finish him off. It's going to be Intra on the early activation, but that's a solid pick to find, especially when Scorchy's thrown into the 1v3 and walks away with 2 kills to his name. Sacrifice next on the chopping block, but damage is dished out. The kill not found just yet, and a Molotov on Scorchy's belt will allow him to have some room to work with. The audio is heard. Sacrifice goes for the wide swing and is shut down. It's Scorchy, 25 kills, 4 in the round, and the AWP recovered going into round 17.
That is a scary, expensive round for Iowa to win. Now, they've hit double digits. Overtake can sit back and say, listen, we understand what just happened. Scorchy got a 4K. If he doesn't, if we play even a better trade, that spam from Learsy with the AK and B tunnels gets even 1 more, that round is a 7th on the board and the gap is closed to within 2. Stormboar come out of that one pretty sparse with only 1 alive. So this is going to be an important round for both sides. Overtake can close that gap to within 2 potentially, or Iowa can start taking a lead as the bank accounts for Overtake starting to drop.
Great play from Doppels. Wisely to fight in towards upper B. Scorchy's still on 1 HP though. Not going to be too big of an issue as he has that magic stick in his hand. Exchange towards mid goes Intra's way. Knox trying to find the refrag, but will be sat out of the round by Umar's AWP. Scorchy next up in line, but it's been the Scorchy show. Puts up his 26th in this Dust 2 map. Meanwhile, the rest of his squad, a little bit lackluster. Tyra's going to be the only one close by in terms of kills, but still, when the two are united, they're able to pull off great things, and they've overwhelmed this A bomb site. Sacrifice with a little bit of a wiggle of the mouse doesn't find his favor, so the 2v2 is what is going to ensue.
7-10 split on that op shot across Cat. Couldn't pick. Left and right brain, looked in the middle, he crossed his eyes, pulled the trigger.
Oh, and Tyra has not the zone. Trying to feed from some of that energy in that last round of the CT side, but Stormboar are able to isolate the fights. The AWP comes to fruition for Tyra, switches back to the AK-47 last minute as to not bring too much investment into round 18. And
the scores for Iowa as well. We've been glazing Scorchy so badly. Tyra's at 23. And then Doppel's, JS Felder, and B-Nox Signs of the Devil, 666. So if Overtake can find opening frags against Tyra or Scorchy, their chances improve. But it is just a long take here from Iowa.
How true is that? Because I feel like, realistically, it feels like B-Nox, Jazz Feltner, and Doppels haven't had that much opportunity to actually display themselves. I feel like it's been Scorchy and Tyra just ripping all of the frags from the side of Overtake, but we'll have to see if they're able to do that here against the upgraded pistol and scout buy, but Scorchy and Beanox say it's too easy to pull off. Intra forced on the retreat back in towards Catwalk and is only good for damage onto Feltner, but does find the kill on the reswing and is punished immediately for an overzealous one at that. Doppler walks away with a kill of his own, and like I said, Henry Bat, I feel like it's not a matter of the trio not finding the kills. I feel like it's just been Tyra and Scorchy taking them all for themselves.
Well, it looks like 35 deaths between the 3 of them, so that's a lot of opportunities they've fumbled. But Iowa Stormboar do post a 12th and 3 in a row. Now on the back foot goes Overtake, and Iowa Stormboar might have a chance to close this one out. A 13-6 would be a nice little piece to the pie to start Mirage as they've changed their tune a little bit in these mid rounds.
Yeah, and with that being said, I feel like there's some questions that can be raised, especially going into Mirage, where it feels like both of these teams are very proficient. Doppler's finding the shoulder first, shows that he's proficient at spraying that AK-47. Jason is close by on the hip to find the trade, but the exchanges are happening up and towards Cat instead. It's going to be Sacrifice close by, but he's playing a dangerous game and only finds 1 kill as his reward. In the 3v2, Overtake have already positioned their pieces back towards this A bomb site, but with the bombs slowly making an exit out of B tunnels, it leaves a question mark on the minimap. Do the Stormboar commit to their push towards B, or is it going to be a regathering towards long? And it feels like it's going to be that regathering, but Beanox has actually spotted one piece and spotted both. So now he has all the information in the world to play with, and now the Stormboard just have to roll together as a squad and try and deathball their way out of A long.
Look at how disconnected these two of Overtake are as well. Intra's going to have to do something massive here from the Goose position. He's got a freebie against JS Feldner. Finds the first, and he has to survive. There he is. Cat spots the op towards long as well, and that rotate's got to come in. He's got to survive, and Jason has to start moving quickly, and he has a fight towards Catwalk as well. 30 seconds. Beanox, find this frag, go B. Patience from Jason. He knows he just has to play his time. He swings out to collect 7 on the board. And the money, still pretty good for the T side, I'm guessing. Yep, I can see it. 7,200 for Doppler. He'll be able to get an op for his friend if he really wants it. His Scorchy can't afford. But Overtake, stave off map defeat for at least 1 more.
Yeah, at minimum 1 more. Umar finally has the AWP into his hands on the CT side, but whether or not he's able to step up to the plate becomes my question, because I touched on it already. We feel like Umar has been a little bit lackluster in this series in the back and forth between Scorchy and himself. It's been the Scorchy show here on Dust 2, and I feel like that same story is going to continue. Lurk smoke deployed outside of B. Counteracting smoke is deployed, and JS Feldner doesn't need to see his head. He just rips it straight from his shoulders.
Tyra's up to 26 now. Looking pretty clean. If he passes Scorchy and we didn't even pay attention to him, that'd be crazy. Because he's been steadily sticking his nose into fights that he shouldn't and coming out on top. And with a 5v4, he hears the cat push. He knows the lurk smoke towards mid. He's only good enough for the time being. Here comes the B hit. Stuffed by the volley, but the send in anyways. JS Felder with a spray onto 1. Umar, the man you're looking for to step up, has a chance right now. Can't split the 2 apart. Then Scorchy to find another. Tyra goes massive. In 28, 27 kills combined. Iowa Stormboar post the 13th. And we're going to Mirage, map number 3. Ready for it, Blakert?
Yeah. I'm ready for it, because it feels like both of these teams are very proficient in terms of how they actually play Mirage. It's just going to be a matter of who can find the gunfights. And I mean, if Scorchy and Tyra both are able to continue how they've been playing on Dust 2, there's going to be no issue with them taking Mirage, because the AWP, an important factor, and your rotators and your anchors in total all have an impact on how Mirage actually plays out. And like I said, I don't feel like it's, the Scorchy and Tyra show just completely stealing the spotlight, which they have, but I feel like it's just more so an opportunity of the other 3 not having an opportunity to really have their impact felt across the server. And if there's any map that they're going to be able to display that, it's going to be on Mirage. And so we'll have to see if they're actually able to pull that off. But I want to give another shout out, Henry Bat. We've done one already, to myhud, because if you've liked what you've seen, we are powered by myhud. The HUD on the screen that you're seeing is that myhud HUD. HUD. I don't know where I was going with that. But myhud, very customizable. It's perfect for streamers, content creators, even casters like you and I, Henry Bat. You can add sponsors to the bottom of the screen, which you may have seen in the broadcast. You have the minimap display. So an overall great product. And we also have the Smart Observer, which I've been quite frankly impressed with at that, because you hear a lot about AI observers coming out, whether it be through GitHub, whether it be through companies, but myhud's Smart Observer is the real deal. So if you're looking to level up your stream, make sure to check out myhud.app. And Henry Bat, we'll have to see if Scorchy and Tyra are both able to carry their teams across the finish line, because we have Mirage coming at you after this short break.
SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You could run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.
We show up in the party. We show up in the party.
Yeah, it's green on the other side. If you want another bride, saying that you got it tight, something that you'll never find. Hey, another life, you gon' want another try, something like the other night, looking for another high. Yeah, expensive taste like a movie. Eyes only looking for the beauty. They don't wanna go if they know me. Maybe missing out an opportunity. Need a Uber X, gotta pick you up on the way. Oh, insecurities gon' make it hard for you to lay low. Switch yourself for someone else, you do it if they say so. Acting like you haven't seen you rolling with the halo. Yeah, it said it's not on me. I know what I want, I'm just waiting for my calling. Yeah, you got a longing to make it with somebody, but lately you been stalling, oh lately you been stalling. Yeah, it's green on the other side. If you want another bride, saying that you got it tight, something that you'll never find. Hey, another life, you gon' want another try, something like the other night, looking for another high. Yeah, expensive taste like a movie. Eyes only looking for the beauty. They don't wanna go if they know me. Maybe missing out an opportunity. Yeah, the right one. Waiting for the right one. But you won't ever find one. Cause you're looking at the wrong ones. Passed up on the one to give you everything. Passed on the one to give you everything you need. Passed up cause you didn't see it on the screen, on the TV. Yeah, it's green on the other side. If you want another bride, saying that you got it tight, something that you'll never find. Hey, another life, you gon' want another try, something like the other night, looking for another high. Yeah, expensive taste like a movie. Eyes only looking for the beauty. They don't wanna go if they know me. Maybe missing out an opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for map number 3 between Overtake Sector and Iowa Stormboar. Henry Bat, this map of Mirage we talked about is going to be a little bit of an interesting one because both teams are very proficient on this map, and it's going to come down to the aim duels. But we're going to send it to the knife round because this one actually matters, huh?
Hacking is slashing towards Rampart. It's a good opening. Scorchy trades with Intra, but he doubles down with Umar and some support from Sacrifice and Learsy, and all of a sudden Overtake Sector going to take that CT side start. Now, as we watch Dust 2, a change of pace from Iowa Stormboar. They had good protocols on the CT side. Fight, 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 change it up, fight again. And there was nothing Overtake Sector could do. They were expecting patience. They found a gap in mid on an eco, but fully by design. And now as Iowa start on the T side, assuming, yes, they got to do the same thing they did on their CT side. It has to be an opening fight somewhere and a change of pace. Mirage T side, in my mind, plays very similar to the CT side of Dust 2, where you find that opening fight, then you lose space. You have to go somewhere else. You're going to get stuffed at these choke points quite quickly, and it's going to be Overtake Sector to not allow Iowa to find those early fights.
Yeah, and Henry Bat, the one thing I'll kind of touch on here is that if you refer to the match history of both teams, Overtake Sector is usually one to draw it into overtime when it comes to Mirage. However, the Stormboar usually close it out in swift fashion, so I'm going to be looking forward to whether or not this matchup is decided very early on, but I think we'll have to wait until round number 3 at minimum to see if that's going to be the case. But the pistol round, however, from the Stormboar is going to lead out towards mid. There's a volley of utility on the belt of Tyra, but Jason has dual Berettas, and this full-on A-stack from Overtake isn't going to come to fruition, just like the run boost from J.S. Feltner.
They're going straight up Cat on this one. J.S. Feltner's jumping to mid-window, slowed by his own molly. Cat spam finds some tags, but it's going to be on the feet or on the shoulders of Learsy from backside. Finds the first, drops that defensive Kerrigan-style smoke, and it rotates in from Intra to clip the wings of Beanox. Tyra trying to slide through the smoke at truck, but Learsy says nay, nay as he enters the driver's seat. Pedal to the metal for the CT side. Overtake on that retake, quick, and it's all blue in the kill feed. Iowa Stormboar stunted on a quick little pistol to Cat.
Yeah, Jason's dual Beretta's not even needed in that round, so he should be able to carry that over, but whether or not that's going to be his primary weapon of choice becomes the next question, which it will not. It's going to be the M4A1S. However, Learsy and Umar still have yet to buy, and as they do, it's going to be rifles all the way around. Learsy going to be with that MP9. I feel like that's kind of expected, especially if you're playing that B anchor position, but look at the aggressive fight happening towards top mid. Sacrifice has the FAMAS and is thinking about going charging, but the top mid smoke completely dissuades him. A break of the smoke from the CTs is going to gather information, and after not spotting anything, J.S. Feltner will show some skin, but is immediately pushed back out of mid.
A little reorg here towards top mid. Iowa just talking through this one. Utility essentially spent. Learsy with the final smoke toss at 1:20. Just gonna slow them down for the time being. He ain't gonna see anything here. Ooh, he might have spotted a foot. A little foot finder action there for Learsy, but he doesn't pull the trigger. He's waiting to get the better picture. There he goes. No response from the info gain on that foot finder request, so he just blows up the chat. Spams in with the MP9. Prod's giggling in my ear. The jump spot confirms information. Now he's looking for him.
And Learsy going to find a whole lot more than just feet. It's going to be faces of Iowa Stormboar as the MP9 chops away. J.S. Feltner put onto that chopping block, but Learsy collects and does so with ease. It's going to be Tyra with the Desert Eagle, but his position is known about, but the frag doesn't come through. It's Tyra with the Desert Eagle that only requires one bullet.
Learsy hunt for that M4 in market. He doesn't want it. It's a philosophy scope.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about how the MP9 feels like the optimal weapon for that B hold. I mean, making its case as well. So,
and now it's a terrible purchase for Iowa as they get stunted at B site.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily terrible. I think they're able to find some sort of opening. If I had to make a guess, it's going to be an A pop, maybe through Palace, maybe through Ramp, but they're just going to try and overwhelm and try and get this bomb down, because if they're able to at least get the cash injection from the bomb plant, then that's plenty of money to go into the next round of the buy. But Umar only has a Tech 9. Yeah, I was just about to say, but he's able to activate from under Valk. Doesn't need assistance, or at least does for the time being as Jason makes his appearance from CT spawn. But the attention has been grabbed, and Umar's just able to pick away with that Tech 9, maybe getting the ADVP into the next, and has plenty of cash for it. Will recover an M4 so he can drop that free of charge to his teammate, and the AWP surely to make an appearance here in round 4.
100%. Iowa are like, dude, Umar has a Tech 9 and he's under Balk. This guy's opping in the next round, 100%. That's the first thing they're saying to themselves. How do we thwart this? Iowa have good mid utility. They have to smoke mid window, maybe a top mid smoke, connector smoke to boot, and they need to take this space fast. They need to close that gap towards Umar with that op, and they need to make their presence known. Top of the smoke? No, Umar doesn't even get a chance to fight. It's sacrifice towards lower, and Jason's push towards Cat to clean up the first.
Cleanup crew starting to make its appearance. Comes out. Jason's going to be removed from his shoulders. Sacrifice able to activate from this underpass smoke. In the blink of an eye, Beanox and Doppler left into the 2v3. There still is possibility that Doppler finds an opening towards Palace, but he's already retreating back towards T-spawn. Maybe a recovery of the bomb going to take place, but Umar, all he has to do is kind of play hall monitor towards top mid.
I want to see Overtake get off of connector. I want to see them fall back through murder hole, play deep on A, murder hole, and B sites. They don't get caught out in 1v1s. This is a dangerous position that Sacrifice is playing. The walk towards A site, it kind of can come through. You can see Umar playing close to the cuff here, watching Palace. And the Crossfire is semi-established here, but it's still pretty scary. Iowa trying to piece this together, but footsteps in towards mid, Namali towards Cat, an indication that connector slide and the Crossfire deflect. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Doppler is able to even the score line ever so slightly. A flashbang will pop, but Umar is not going to be blind. Doppler still has the bomb on his back, so an opportunity to find his way into the round, but he has to find this first frag and now has to find where Learcy is approaching from because there's been a lack of noise since that first kill happened. Doppler is retreating back towards triple. Should look for this plant. Going to be a hefty amount of cash put into the back pocket, but after the numbers are punched in, Learcy is going to go charging, flashing on the top triple, and Doppler finds it. It's the hat trick for him in the first round for the Stormboar.
Now imagine if they were playing outside window and behind ticket booth on A, and they had tons of time to get there. Unfortunate way to lose a round. Iowa post their first in the fourth. And now the purchase come back on the CT side. It's going to be a good one. Umar looking to get that op dropped from Intra, but he's like, I spent all my money on this, bro. You're going to wait as I take a mid-window peek.
Mid-smoke, late window smoke, Intra, a little bit of KZ onto the catwalk. HE grenade not going to reveal anything. So with the Molotov towards top mid, no one's going to be forced out of the boxes. So now Overtake, all they have to do is bolster down these extremities. But you can see for the moment being, or the time being, Jason's left on an island. There's going to be a resmoke towards Palace, a Molotov to flush him out from Beanox. But the utility from the Stormboar is starting to make an appearance, and if Jason doesn't have assistance, he's going to be overwhelmed sooner rather than later.
Fast retake to come in for Overtake as they want to flash through these smokes, but it's a good hold from Umar on site to find two, making a triple from that headshot position, and he's looking for the fight, but it's Intra to slide through the stairs smoke and collect the fourth. No chance for Iowa as they get walked right into that blender. That island Jason was on had all the information, and as he radios back, the ships, the battleships I guess you can call it, come sliding into sight. Easy fourth, nicely done, Overtake.
Yeah, I mean, Umar's position towards Ninja, absolutely dominant in that round. Really the difference maker. I mean, on the stat board, clearly having an effect, the 3 kills, but still forcing the Stormboar to try and isolate the fight and trying to really eliminate him from the site defense was enough of an attention grab for the rest of Overtake to activate on jungle and even from CT spawn. So a beautiful display. Jason once more going to be left on the island, but the fast mid pressure is going to be what actually seals his fate. JS Feltner is going to walk away with the first kill and is looking to take more space into windows. So if Overtake aren't conscious of this, then they're going to be caught off guard. You can see that Sacrifice is already running for the hills. Umar has an AWP waiting for the swing and unscopes at the most perfect time for the player to swing from top connector, but Umar is locked into the ladder room, has an AWP, so it's going to be a difficult time to try and escape. As the hunt comes through, Umar makes the getaway.
Intra tried to take a fight in through CT spawn. You can see the rest of Overtake trying to gather their forces to fight back through connector and mid-window where they were first forced back from. And I think the call was, guys, get ready to fight into this. Intra gets caught from that Palace push of Doppler. It was a great fight for him to find. And the rest of the fight towards jungle cut off. Iowa hunt down the remaining frags of Overtake, and it kind of busts their bank account. Great play to hunt for Iowa as well. They're going to move into the next round with 3 alive, rather. And a chance for them to close this scoreline now is it's going to be potentially a double save from Overtake. 1900 loss bonus, not enough to buy in the next, so they do force into this one.
And that double save coming through. AWP in the hands of Scorchy, and we saw what he was able to do on Dust 2, so we'll see if he's able to carry that through. Top mid smoke to allow an entrance towards the mid boxes. Tyra's shuffling around these smokes, and I'm assuming that there's going to be a late connector smoke as well as a window smoke, but Jason has already gone prodding and found a Galil as his reward, but he's going to throw it right back into the sand where it came from.
Iowa's pressure towards mid is the same every round. Mid window smoke, top mid smoke, molly into connector, and this gives a chance for Jason to drop out unabated, finds the frag towards upper B and cuts off any kind of push from Iowa. Resmoke a mid window comes in, but with no pitter patter and no extra utility, Overtake can just stack a site, and this is where the hit's coming from. And we know from experience, Iowa's utility is good, but they move quite quickly behind it, and there will be gaps to be exploited. A site hold has to come through heavy right now as Umar steals away the nerve of the result.
But the kill from Doppler opens up Learcy for the frag, able to convert the first, drops a preemptive smoke for that Molotov, but it's more so a getaway for him to try and make an escape back into default. It won't happen though, because Scorchy's going charging, but he's asleep at the wheel. Learcy's found the kill with the 5-7. Jason converts a headshot with the Desert Eagle, and what is a round that Overtake have no business pulling off is one that they will win.
No way. That Palace peak finds the one. Doppler gets it, no problem, but it's too quick. They didn't wait for the utility to land. Doppler gets caught off, and they can't find that trade frag underneath Balk. That's twice now. Upgraded pistol from Overtake has found 2 from that position. Beautifully done to find the 5th. And now it's Iowa Stormboar who are kind of on the back foot. Yeah, they got AKs to Tech 9, a great purchase. But it ain't with the Op M4 combo, and straight into the guts of mid they go. Cut down in their prime.
And the mid-window smoke not doing favors for a majority of the Stormboar. Tyra able to reap some of the benefits, but with the smoke towards connector, the rest of Overtake have to be put onto their toes. Jason still going hunting for information around this connector smoke, but Learcy is completely isolated towards B. The top connector smoke to further cement the fact that there's a possibility of the Stormboar making their way into connector, but Ira is still hunting for kills as he makes his rotation. Jason off guard, but able to react in time. The bomb's going to be scooped up, but JS Feltner has someone close by, and that's going to be Learcy towards the cat bricks. But he's able to make an escape for the time being. Oh, it was just spotted. JS Feltner thinks he has a read on what's going on across the map, but little does he know, Learcy has all of the information in the palm of his hand, and all he has to do is connect the M4 bullet to the scalp. And it will happen, so JS Feltner, no opportunity to pull off that round, and Overtake find a 6, guaranteeing themselves at least a tie going into the second half.
It's a good play by Iowa to try to take that mid control back, but when the individuals from Overtake step up on a good plan to fight, it's rock, paper, scissors at that point. And Iowa get caught holding paper against a nice sharp pair of scissors that is the Overtake CT side mid take. Now, the Eagles. This is where Overtake could fumble. If they try to step out of line, JS Feltner's going to give him a quick haircut for free. Boom! But a marginal Blakert boom towards A-Ramp, but JS Feltner fights forward anyways. Jason finishes the frag on the first, looks for more as they're hunting these egos down. Overtake confident for these fights, and they're finding them left, right, maybe not center, but B site for sure. Bomb down towards A-Ramp. This is a done round.
Should be a done round. Jason puts the cherry on top towards the A bomb site. Here's he looking for more into upper B. It's the eco frags. And Henry Bat, at the current point, it feels like the Stormboar are kind of stumped in terms of how their T-side is actually going to come to fruition. And the aim battles haven't been all that there. I feel like the AWP of Scorchy hasn't. And while I'm yapping, Intra slices and dices Tyra into the grave. So plenty of money for Intra going into this next one. A possibility in an AWP if Umar didn't already have one. And Scorchy's going to whip out one of his own.
Well, Scorchy kind of cooled off a little bit from Dust 2 and 8. But Iowa are not, I don't want to say they're not playing together. They have good plans. The individuals are just not stepping up. And the fact that Overtake, time and again, are playing this one and done position and getting 2, or fighting into mid and finding double frags, Unbelievable scenes. It's just too easy for them right now as they're fighting into the choke points, and Iowa Stormboar are stepping into the crosshairs before the utility even lands. What's the play here? What can they even do? Re-clear of A ramp comes in. Jason confirms it. Umar collects the kill onto Scorchy towards top mid. Official hip shot for him. Beanox does marginal damage back towards Connector, but now position noted, and they know Doppler is the Palace player time and again, and you can see they've already isolated it.
Beautiful from Umar. A player that we absolutely wanted to see more out of in the first 2 maps is finally having his spotlight put on him. Flash to bang towards bottom con. Beanox, a little bit of unfavorable fate. And Umar puts the cherry on top. It's 4 kills to the AWP of Umar. Overtake find an 8th. And what I was touching on is we talked about how we needed to see more impact out of Umar. The AWP shots weren't connecting, and here on Mirage they are.
Good, looking pretty good, and they're not really doing anything crazy, right? The mid-window smoke is landing, but they're popping it and fighting. They're making this good mantle across Cat. Intra's probably going to do it right now with an AK-47. No, of course, Caster Curse lies to him. Runs towards B site. Back towards A for Iowa Stormboar, and Overtake are always ready for this. They love to fight back into the hits, so Iowa need to set this utility up, find the first frag, and put on the brakes. They have the utility to run the strat twice in a row, so they might have to do it. Got a chunky
look
towards
what
the ramp.
He's tucked in towards Firebox, and you know damn well that the Stormboar are going to go clearing towards Ninja, but they're not going to clear Firebox. Not this time. It gives Lurcy the door completely open as Tyra is able to find the trade, but Sacrifice activates from jungle, finds 2 from the bench, but the exchanges have been made, and now suddenly Scorchy has to find out where this AWP is and try to avert the first op shot, because if the location is revealed, Scorchy will have the advantage, has plenty of utility as well, and has found a hole in the net to crawl back through bottom connector, and will try to take his residency back towards the B bomb site, which is a perfect play, but don't you let that Molotov fly, because that's going to give Umar all of the intuition in the world, and the rotation is happening. Umar's dropped down to 7.
Oh,
Wait! He's going back towards A. It's a complete misread from Umar. Scorchy's going to have a free bomb plant.
And he's going to think his Molotov worked.
And now Umar has to try and push the pace back into market, but there's still a possibility that Scorchy's already waiting for him, and with that smoke deployed towards market door, it becomes a long route to the defuse from Umar. Post plant
Scorchy's playing
position.
not to lose right now.
Yeah,
He's just tucked
I was
in
just
the back
about
of
to say
sight.
that. Umar's crossing all T's, dotting all I's. Smoke dropped onto the bomb. Flashbang to allow his entrance, but Scorchy's starting to get activated. Looking for a rotation back around, but Umar's going to try and call the bluff. He's looking for the bomb. The spam comes through, and he does find a little bit of damage, but not enough and not in the right spot. But Scorchy will finally convert the kill. It's a 3K from Scorchy to clutch up the round and put the Stormboar onto their 3rd.
That's a hard-fought 3rd. Look at the accounts for the T side. It's nothing burger going into round number 12. They're going to have a spattering of AKs, maybe a scout for Tyra. It's a Khalil instead as he sacrifices. Not much. Okay, this is a pretty good purchase, actually, all things considered. They've spent their pennies quite correctly, but it is an 8-3 lead for Overtake on the CT side. Mid-window smoke popped open. Tyra wary of it, so he starts to pre-fire a little bit early and into the default to go Iowa Stormboar.
Move towards bottom connector, allows some sort of walkout from the CTs, but Umar is watching the wrong position. He's got that scope phased towards top mid, finds 1 kill, but the trade doesn't actually come immediately from the Stormboar. They allow Umar to make his residency back towards bench, back towards jungle, and find a more optimal position to approach this A-site defense. The HE grenade flies, and the smoke is going to be revealing. Umar able to knock down Beanox. Jason finds a kill on his own, and JS Feltner is feeling the pressure towards mid and will not be able to withstand it. It's Doppler's into the 1v5, and you can already see he's having his reservations about this one.
Well, time and again, he's going into Palace, and Overtake know this. They're just dumping utility into it. The connector player throws his early smoke towards mid, but he doesn't need his second one from the window player. So they just smoke off Palace, smoke off Palace, smoke off Palace, double mollies, and Doppler at a minute. Sits there going, where's the rest of my team? 9-3 half. Overtake probably pretty happy with that, especially Umar stepping up to the plate. 15 on the half, Jason 13. And now I'm looking down at the bottom of the scoreboard asking, where's Beanox?
Yeah, I feel like that's a player that has gone kind of under the radar throughout this whole series. I mean, we didn't see much impact from him on Overpass nor Dust 2. I mean, there were some individual plays from him, but nothing that I feel like really contributed to the round. So I need to see a little bit more But Overtake now find themselves in what feels like the optimal position. Early mid utility from the side of Overtake.
Sack.
Oh yeah.
Look at this
Five sack
minimap
with
chat.
a bomb site.
What is
Wait,
this?
but if
Okay,
Overtake
at least
send-
Iowa's making a play. At least they're making a play. Bubba Tyra, where are you going?
Flashbang
Fumble.
rings out. Sacrifice walks the kill down towards mid. We'll continue this charge towards the B site. And Lucy's just making noise, trying to draw rotations over, but little does he know there's no one home. No one's going to go peeking. Jason and Sacrifice able to pincer this A bomb site, and they've caught the Stormboar with their pants down. I mean, two players completely isolated from one another. JS Feltner able to find what feels like a commiseration frag on Illyrsy, but it does even out the numbers slightly. So there's an opportunity for this retake to be pulled off, but he is walking into the crossfire, is JS Feltner, and Scorchy has to hit the one taps. He found one head first. Still has a smoke on the belt. Defuse kit as well, no armor, and he can try and call the bluff, but the Glock's surely to spam away. He's going to try and find this bomb in the smoke, and you can see that Sacrifice is completely prepped for it. He couldn't find the bomb at first, and Sacrifice will rip his head off and offer it to the gods.
A little bit of a spit roast there from Overtake as they push A ramp, they push B, and then they have Iowa Stormboar spinning in the middle. 10 on the board as they touch double digits, and it's got to be the save comeback from Iowa. If they force in, they're forcing into this one. It's a hard call. It's a really hard call to say save or force on this one, right? Let them get to 11 and have a awkward purchase in the next where you might get M4s and a lack of utility, or force to win. Essentially,
I mean,
old school smoke.
it feels
toss
like
to
a
Lance.
it feels like a decision that's based off of the fact of prior results.
Round not
JS
live.
Feltner, it's a disconnect.
Call it not live. Call it not live.
They haven't called not live, so Doppler's taking the damage. Will cement the fact that the Stormboar are heading into round 14 with a man disadvantage. Flashbang towards underpass, Doppler's completely known about. Umar going to be first to overwhelm, but it's going to be Intra instead to find the kill. Tyra sitting in this Sarah smoke, spots the first, but can't connect the dots with the Desert Eagle. The bomb going to be punched in. 1 minute and 15 seconds turned immediately into 40, but a walkthrough of that CT smoke and Sacrifice offers up another player's head. It's Scorchy and Tyra left in the 2v5. The Desert Eagle not having the effect that you would hope, and the Scout is left wondering what it can do, and it's not going to be much, especially when the MAC-10s are running it down. So Tyra, all he can hope for is that players walk into the crosshair, but 3 is a lot more than 1. And the Desert Eagle can't output that volume.
I
with
love
Overtake,
Overtake.
Finding an
Sorry.
11th, and I mean, off the back of an
Did
untimely
JS Felder
disconnect as well.
disconnect? He disconnects, and the scramble from Overtake that said go was a second missed molly from Palace that didn't land underneath Valk. The smoke for jungle was thrown on the fly. Overtake see that disconnect, and the IGL goes, go now, get on the site, sprint! And they find that tag before the not live can come through, and they post 11, essentially breaking the back of Iowa Stormboar, but JS Felder wants to break them right back with a 5-7 in Palace, but gets caught out 4v4.
Going to be recovered. A little bit of a Molotov lineup to flush Doppler's out of position, but the smoke, I'm not sure how that actually got extinguished, so Doppler's going to go unchecked. Able to activate and find one kill onto Intra. Has support from Tyra back in towards the benches, but an eye. Lucy and Sacrifice are left into the 2v3. They're able to find one, but only Sacrifice suddenly has to pull off this round on his own, but Doppler recovers the Galil. Is able to buy some more breathing room, if you will, for the Stormboar.
Yep, great amount of breathing room. Overtake fumbled that one just a little bit. That Palace push catches one, and I think they sped up off the back of it. And that's twice now Iowa have stacked the A site with more than what is expected, and they come out on top. Great play by them, great stance on site, and they never say die. Still, a long road ahead of them as they try to close that gap on Overtake's 11.
Only mid pressure. Gonna be a late mid take though from Overtake. There's gonna be put up on the chopping block. Tries to go through that bottom connector smoke, but the HE grenade completely dissuades him. Fortunately able to find one and makes the getaway back in the ladder room. Tyra converts a kill as well, and so the man advantage is secured for the Stormboar, but whether or not they're able to keep running with it is going to be the next question. Molotov before Scorchy into a position where he has to either stay or go, but he's being burned at the stake. Only has low HP to work with, and JS Felder finds a point of activation towards Catwalk. Walks away with the Scalp of Sacrifice, and Intra in the blink of an eye is left in the 1v3. Has Beanox and JS Feltner still trying to hear and nip the heels. He's heard the first. It's going to be JS Feltner to go down. Ninja's trying to find the fight. He's able to dodge the
Oh my God.
crosshair and finds a disgusting one tap towards
Oh!
the wall. It's the 4K from Intra. Overtake sector on to
Bro.
series point.
What is this? That was a 3v5, and all Iowa were trying to do was finish it off. Tyra, okay, no problem. You go first. You get your third frag of the round down towards lower connector. 4v2. And then the individuals just continuously pushing and pushing and pushing. And if you give Intra an inch, he'll take a mile. Posts 12. And that's, I said it. I think I'm going to say it again. Iowa busted. That's got to be Overtake right now, right? The mentals are done. How do you lose that one on match point? Loser of this out of Crossfire.
Yeah, I mean, winner moves on to
Okay.
face the winner of Wanted Goons. And
My life be
My
like.
Life Be Like, but Beanox
That'll be
still
good.
has a little bit of an impact to be had. A player that
A
we
little
said
bit.
was going under the radar, but finds 2 kills with the Desert Eagle. 2 bullets, 2 kills. And Learsey has a little bit of
That's-
weight on his shoulders back towards top mid.
Oh
Okay.
my god. 1 HP in a dream here. He got that
that's a
first
boom.
kill. He got that first kill, a headshot after 6 spams of the deal, and he walks away. He's like, 1 tap. Ha ha ha. Turns around, gets himself 2 more to confirm that it was 1 taps. All right, Learsey, your turn. 1v3 for the 4K clutch. Bomb can be picked up, 50 seconds to go. And it's a single flash M4 MP9 Scout. He's got a freebie on the cross here.
Or does he? There's a flank slowly coming in from Doppler. Scorchy still hidden towards Van, but Learsey has the round, and Scorchy activates from the Van position. It'll be a 5th round for the Stormboar. They live to see another day. All to the thanks of Beanox's Desert Eagle. Some crisp shots being hit in the past few rounds.
One more round. One more round. What's this purchase looking like? Galil's, Deagles, Umar on a Glock to start the round. He's got 800 bucks, bro. Buy a Deag or something. And they're just going straight for this B site hit. Who's here? Beanox, JS Feltner. A fast rotate can come in from Scorchy from Catwalk, but it's going to have to be some good utility, and there's not much damage utility left on B site. Beanox taking a heads-up fight. Gotta go big. He's caught off truck. He's got to fall back. The Kerrigan smoke deployed, and the cross comes through. JS Felder looking for the fight from Cat, but he's caught.
Oh, it's
Jason, sacrifice, find themselves 2. Scorchy steps up to the plate, but only good for 1. Tyra clips the wings of Intra on this retake, coming through quick. Him, Dopless, 2 AKs. They're trying to make this one work, but the slide through the smoke makes it possible. Jason from the E-box, good for 1, and it's out of the 1v1. Learsey, Tech 9, planted for himself on site, but it's a good double tap from the Tech 9 and Overtake. Smack back Iowa Stormboar 2-1 to advance in Crossfire Season 5 playoffs.
Yeah, a little bit of vengeance from the side of Overtake, taking what they felt like was theirs in the Nostalgia League, but this time in Crossfire. And Henry Bat, I mean, what a treat of a match to get to watch. I mean, we saw it all. It felt like we saw the attempted ninja diffuses. We saw the 1v3s. We saw crisp shots being hit. We saw players hitting 20 kills before we even hit halftime. So, I mean, an all-out dominant. I don't even want to say dominant victory for Overtake Sector. It felt like a well-earned victory at that. And I mean, Iowa Stormboar, there's no way that they can be really, I think, disappointed in themselves, especially with Beanox coming in and trying to step in and fill the shoes of, I believe, the presumed Stormy. But still, I mean, an absolute barn burner of a match.
I agree. Iowa, don't hang your heads. Keep your heads up, right? Like you said, a stand-in. You have Dopless, who's we'll call him a dead player on this team because he switched over to Foxtrot. He still came to play and he put up some good numbers, but at the end of the day, the disconnect on overpass, I think Overtake Sector found their victory there, right? Yeah, the Dust 2-1, they kind of went in a little bit slow, maybe expecting to just kind of sweep away Iowa Stormboar, but they put their hooves in the dirt and found their way to Mirage. But it is what it is. When Umar comes online after 2 slow maps, what can you say about that? 2-1 Overtake, beautiful win. And I think we got a bracket that can be pulled up as well. Exploding.
Yeah.
You got one for us?
We talked about how the winner of this moves on to play the winner of Wanted Goons and My Life Be Like. Of course, that's going to be Overtake Sector. But in the rest of the bracket, we do see that Raised by Pixels have found a forfeit win. I believe Zealous has unfortunately crumbled as a team. But some absolute heaters of matchups coming up this week. I mean, we have Revel taking on Beyond Limits, Wanted Goons, My Life Be Like, Olympus versus Club 333, Third Prime and Regain, which I feel like is going to be an absolute banger of
Yes,
a match.
sir.
We see Villainous taking on Celestial, Festina Lente taking on Ninefly, but let's not forget, Henry Bat, we are into playoffs. So lose one, you are out of Crossfire Season 5.
Yep. A lot of these teams, too, are the ESEA finals teams. A lot of these teams are the advanced playoff level teams. So, some extremely good Counter Strike going to be coming up in realistically the next few days. I think we got matches tomorrow scheduled. Let me check this out. Yeah, tomorrow we have Festina Lente taking on Ninefly. That's going to be Yo Boy Q and Marky M. And then we have Third Prime and Regain, and it's going to be the power combo of T Noodle and Momo. Covering that one.
Yeah, I mean, I am absolutely elated for what awaits in the rest of this playoff bracket. I mean, if this is how the initial matchups are looking, I'm only wondering what this grand final is going to be waiting in store and what it's going to actually come to
Can you take a
fruition with.
guess?
Because,
Who do you think of the two teams going to make it? Take a guess.
I mean,
I'll stake my claim in this one too. We'll ask Prod.
so my heart wants to say that Third Prime are going to have some sort of breakthrough all the way into the grands, but I realistically, if I had to make a realistic and objective prediction, I'm going to have to take it between Overtake and Festina Lente.
Really? Okay. I mean, my heart is kind of in My Life Be Like, but I don't want to take that away from anybody in this caster chat we're having right now because I think you have some connection to them. But I think Villainous, we're looking pretty good. Club 333, we're looking pretty good. I'll call it a Ninefly Wanted Goons final. I'm gonna stamp that one right there. It's time check 10:05 p.m. Eastern, 23rd of June. The script has
Wow.
been written. Big and Tall Matt and myself in the background typing it up. So all you betters in chat, make sure you get on that one, okay? Wanted Goons versus Ninefly final. Just saying.
That's a bold prediction, I would say, Mr. Henry Bat. But
Let's see
for
if it
the
works
here,
out.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of teams in this bracket. We've seen some
Yeah.
magic happen in this matchup alone tonight, so I'm sure there's not going to be any lack of it throughout this playoff bracket. But Henry Bat, for the here and now, that's going to be it from us over here on the Play Crossfire stream. We hope you enjoyed what you watched, and one more time, a big thank you to our sponsors who helped put on this event, myhud and SCL. And if you're looking to stay in the loop with all things Crossfire, make sure to follow them over on Twitter. My name has been Blakert_CS. We've had Henry Bat to help guide you through the action. And ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have a great rest of your night.
SCL, an all-in-one CS2 training platform with a practice server, 2D viewer, and unique training modes like Defense Mode. Defend sites against bot executes that get harder every round. And Trade Fire, a pre-fire mode where enemies actually try to trade you. You can run every mode in co-op and track your progress and stats across all your training. Plus, you get an advanced 2D demo viewer. Use code Crossfire40 for 40% off your first month. That's under $3.